You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE LGE 95.9 FM. The most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey. The most influential name in Caribbean radio. WZYE 95.9 FM. You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE LGE 95.9 FM. The most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey. The most influential name in Caribbean radio. WZYE 95.9 FM.
Hey, hey, oi, oi. Hey, hey, oi, oi. In Trinidad and Tobago, politics was we and them. That was never meant to be so, according to the anthem. But ethnic insecurity was maintained to divide us by some people in the country to sow the seeds of distrust. But we have got a new system within the community. Now what used to be we and them has now become only we. From now on this nation is we. From now on it is you and I. From now on it is unity. From now on we flying high. All the races have come together to build a better country and create a brighter future for the whole society. The we and them thing is no more, because it is plain to see in this country from shore to shore the community is we. No more we and them, from now on this nation is we. No more we and them, from now on this nation is we and we and we and we. India and some came from Africa. Look today, their descendants are here, coexisting together. There are others who came here too, the Chinese, Syrians and such. Native people are just a few in this land that we love so much. But the politics of the day and the love for a party cause people to begin to say them is them and we is we. From now on this country is we. From now on we all shall be one. From now on that's how it shall be. From now on all division done. As today united we stand, the people of Trinbago. One country, one nation, one island. Chutney Pan and Calypso. It's Trinidad and Tobago, better known as TNT. And we want the whole world to know we see ourselves as we. No more we and them, from now on this nation is we. No more we and them, from now on this nation is we and we and we and we. In this nation is no more, and Mother China done disappear, gone away for good I'm sure. If we want to build a real nation, there can be no we and them. In spite of ethnic persuasion, all should fit in the system. Side by side we stand hand in hand within the society. This here paradise island, because you and I means we. From now on love and peace we. From now on race do not matter. From now on we means unity. From now on we are together. They cannot divide me again, cause we enter a new era. United we shall all remain, looking out for each other. Eric tell me matter they done. Today it is plain to see a new paradigm has begun, and that paradigm is we. From now on, this nation is we. No more we and them. From now on, this nation is we and we and we and we. Some politicians have tried their best to keep we subdivided, as their policies would attest. And now we are united, using that old colonial scheme. They sought to divide and rule, because if we are not a team, we are more easy to fool. Look, they had us fighting each other, causing misery and pain. Now all these times are gone forever, before never again. From now on, Trinidad is we. From now on, one philosophy. From now on, Tobago shall be. From now on, standing equally. No more African, no more Indian. We shall all be citizens, forged together to build one nation. Though we are different persons, done away with the we and them. In this land of La Trinity, whenever we sing the anthem, from now on is only we. No more we and them. From now on, this nation is we. No more we and them. From now on, this nation is we and we and we and we. From now on, this nation is we. No more we and them. From now on, this nation is we and we and we. From now on, this nation is we. No more we and them. From now on, this nation is we and we and we and we.
Get up one morning, your elders have something. You don't know how they get it, but you want to use it. But if you ask them old people to get the things what they went through, ask them this any day, and your parents sure to say, black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. Make up your mind, brother, that you're able to get a pulley and jam with the devil. Why? Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. Make up your mind, brother, that you're ready to swim offshore and hold your boat steady. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. So when you're here, you get a little something. With that dragon eye, you keep watching, because I don't tell you already. Black man don't get nothing easy. You get up one morning, and oil money running. How it come you don't know, so that it care how the thing go. But if they read about Uriah, they wanna find out the pressure. How we get so much old hell to get a penny from TLL. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. You got to take up your own cash money, pay people for your own refinery. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. Make up your mind to be a magician, to make money out of scrap iron. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. So when you're here, you get a little something. With that eagle eye, you keep watching, because I don't tell you already. Black man don't get nothing easy. Say we got up one morning, independence happening, getting the thing come easy. Now they're taking liberty, but if they know about petition, we are to send to England for some woman to tell we in this colony free. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. You got to go to conference in England to get independence in your own land. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. People hold you, humiliate you, turn on and sell you, and then they free you. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. So when you hear you get a little something with that dragon, now you keep watching, because I don't tell you already. Black man don't get nothing easy. So when a black man gets something, he got to start thinking. To get it there easy, he got to practice economy. From getting licks from the slave master to become the landowner, brother, is a terrible journey, back with plenty brutality. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. You got to rise up, you got to stand up, pick up your mind, you will always stay on top. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. You got to go to conference in England to get independence in your own land. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. You got to take up your own cash money, pay people for your own refinery. Black man have to keep on jamming, for black man to get a little something. Make up your mind to be a magician, to make money out of scrap iron. Black man have to keep on jamming.
Help! Somebody help me! I'm looking for jackass. Boy, I try to go around the country, you know. I don't know what to do again. Looking to buy a donkey to sell coconut in town. Can't afford to buy a pickup to tote me nuts around. So I gone up in the country looking for jackass to buy. But everybody I check, they keep on telling me. They say up here do a donkey, Parliament a plenty. Up here do a donkey, Parliament a plenty. If you want to see real donkey, Parliament a plenty. If you want to find real donkey, Parliament a plenty. Donkey for sewing day, donkey for sewing day, donkey for sewing day, donkey for sewing day, donkey with PhD, doctorate, law degree, donkey that dance for sew, don't know from head to toe. Looking for a donkey, you want to find real donkey. Fat donkey, maga donkey, any kind you could get it. Oh, yeah. I went down south in Rancho and also Lofino. Fight up Mondo Nevo and Brasso Seco. They say it have a old man, he bound to have a few. But when I check the old man, he and all same too. He say up here do a donkey, Parliament a plenty. Up here do a donkey, Parliament a plenty. If you want to see real donkey, Parliament a plenty. If you want to find real donkey, Parliament a plenty. Donkey for sewing day, donkey for sewing day, donkey for sewing day, donkey for sewing day, donkey with weave and rats, even bald head jackass, donkey that's straight and gay, donkey that bold and grey. Looking for a donkey, you're looking for a donkey. I know Chinese donkey, I know what black donkey, grey donkey. What are you telling me about? Oh yeah, hey yeah, oh yeah. I wonder if I rain happen. They say that donkey looking like Saddam, and some looking like Madam. Long time had plenty donkey all over the country. You coulda buy 2 or 3, easy, easy, easy. But since it have a shortage of jackass, so they say, just wait until election procession when they come out to pray. Up here do a donkey, parliament a plenty. Up here do a donkey, parliament a plenty. If you're looking for a donkey, parliament a plenty. If you want to see real donkey, parliament a plenty. Donkey for sowing day, donkey for sowing day, donkey for sowing day, donkey for sowing day. Donkey in suit and tie, who love the mama guy. Drunk and corrupt donkey, that like to lie plenty. Looking for a donkey. You want to find real donkey in right road. Oh boy, you have to have national pride. Up in the red house now. They gone back up there. I never go up there before. Boy, ask people now. Looking for a donkey. You up and down the country. I feel like go check out my partner Ronnie, you know. The old donkey man, he must know where I could get some. Before they looking to send me in prison or something, you know.
Keep me as the apple. Keep me as the apple of thine eye. Hide me under the shadow of thy wing. O Lord, my Savior. It's so hard to deal with personal struggle. So sad when you feel alone in your trouble. It's real hard when you want to talk to a brother. It's so bad because of how some look at you after. So Jesus, come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be. Cover my head. Satan want me dead. Cover my back from human attack. So Jesus, come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be. People see you smile, but don't know the hurt that you're feeling. Even as God's child, at times your heart does be bleeding. Where can you go when you're really looking for healing? Who know how to flow when your soul needs some restoring? So Jesus, come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be. Cover me home from evils unknown. Cover my feet so I'll never retreat. Oh Lord, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover my brother. Cover my sister. Them who under pressure. Cover the preacher, every church worker, the young believer. Cover the worship leader and intercessor, every gospel minister. Cover. Jesus alone is the one who has the real answer. The one on the throne is the true and loving Father. He will hold your hand and keep you from going under. He will make you stand and let you know he's a fixer. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be. Cover my mind. You know the struggle sometimes. Cover my mouth, that the wrong thing wouldn't come out. Oh Lord, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover the Christian in the midst of aggression. salvation. With the power of your right hand, Jesus cover, cover, cover them helpless children. Jesus defend them. Send help from heaven. Jesus cover, cover, cover all them radio stations that blessing the nation. Grant divine protection. Jesus cover, 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 cover me, cover me, cover me.
Truer words were never spoken. The less you associate with some people, the more your life will improve. Anytime you tolerate mediocrity in others, it increases your mediocrity. An important attribute in successful people is their impatience with negative thinking and negative acting people. As you grow, your associates will change. Some of your friends will not want you to go on. They will want you to stay where they are. Friends that don't help you climb will want you to crawl. Your friends will stretch your vision or choke your dream. Those that don't increase you will eventually decrease you. Consider this. Never receive counsel from unproductive people. Never discuss your problems with someone incapable of contributing to the solution, because those who never succeed themselves are always first to tell you how. Not everyone has a right to speak into your life. You are certain to get the worst of the bargain when you exchange ideas with the wrong person. Don't follow anyone who's not going anywhere. With some people you spend an evening. With others, you invest it. Be careful where you stop to inquire for directions along the road of life. Wise is the person who fortifies his life with the right friendships. If you run with wolves, you will learn how to howl. But if you associate with eagles, you will learn how to soar to great heights. A mirror reflects a man's face, but what he is really like is shown by the kind of friends he chooses. The simple but true fact of life is that you become like those with whom you closely associate, for the good and the bad. Note, be not mistaken. This is applicable to family as well as friends. Yes, do love, appreciate, and be thankful for your family, for they will always be your family, no matter what. Just know that they are human first, and though they are family to you, they may be a friend to someone else and will fit somewhere in the criteria above. In prosperity, our friends know us. In adversity, we know our friends. Never make someone a priority when you are only an option for them. If you are going to achieve excellence in big things, you develop the habit in little matters. Excellence is not an exception. It is a prevailing attitude.
Yes, 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 yes. Let me say a special hello to all the WZYE 95.9 FM listeners. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with you in full color. It's In the Village with the Dad Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, we come to you every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. That's Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, we always say here in the village with the Dad Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. That's Diana, and someone Tommy. Doesn't matter what color t-shirt you wear. You have on a blue t-shirt. You have on a gray t-shirt. You have on a burgundy t-shirt. You have on a mauve t-shirt. Each and everyone is welcome in the village with the Dad Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, doesn't matter what planet you're from Mazatania, Xenoranius, Venuranius, Sonoranius. Each and everyone is welcome in the village with the Dad Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. And let me say a special welcome to 1/3 of the Dad Triplets, no other than the commissioner from Newark, by way of Marabella, on his way from Sally Bay to Palaseco, no other than the commissioner himself, the one and only Thomas E. Marshall Nisbet. Tommy, welcome.
Good evening, my good friend. How are you today?
Today is a splendid first day.
All right. It's a pleasure being in the village. Looking forward to sprightly, fruitful discussion this evening because it's a wonderful evening. So we'll have a great time.
Of course, we always do that. Let me say welcome to the other 1/3 of the Dot Triplets. That is the one and only, the poet, the poetess, the poetress, the motivational speaker, the Bajan, the Trinidadian, the Trin Bajgonian from St. Augustine, went to high school in St. Augustine, no other than Stormy, the Storm, Waveney, McDonald, Benskin, Diana, boy.
Where are you, Storm?
I know, like,
your mic is muted.
Mic muted, man. I know I'm going to. I feel she going for a drink, you know. Yeah, man. Don't worry, we go get to she. All the way we'll get to she. You know, just saying, we'll get to her.
We'll fix that.
We'll get to her. Don't worry about it. Yeah. So, folks, while Diana get her phone to unmute her mic, right? Homie boys, never a dull day in Trinidad and Tobago.
Oh boy, you can say that again.
You know, we have coalitions. We have a coalition with PEP. We have a coalition with UNC. You know, but that coalition with PEP, you ever heard of that party? The Farmers Party. Some Farmers Party.
That's long ago. I heard about the Workers and Farmers Party. Do they still have that?
I don't know if that's the party, but there's some Farmers Party. Hey, Tommy, you're not a big as a joke.
More division, more distraction.
Oh, God. Tommy, you trying to win a local election, you know. You're going to team up with the Farmers Party.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Next wave.
Yeah. I see Randy put something in the chat there.
Oh, you going there so quick already? We even reached there. We talking about coalition and parties getting together. And
yeah.
So what I understand is UNC and NTA. PEP and the Farmers Party. Ever hear about the Farmers Party? Yeah?
Never hear about them.
I mean, let me be honest, right? At least if your party go and team up with, you know, guys like Brazil go and team up with Trinidad. You know what I mean? Brazil, let me go and team up with Trinidad. But they can't make the 50 minutes. Not the third, second, third, or 40, 50 minutes. But we go team up with all you. I feel sorry for you.
That's I remember Farmers Party. They used to have a party way back in the 60s or 70s called the Workers and Farmers Party.
I think that's the same party.
I think that might be the same party.
They reincarnated.
I think so.
I think who told us that? Is it Rushton Barry or Shane? Shane, Mom, maybe you clarify that thing.
Wow.
Yeah, but when I thought that at least Pep go align themselves with some kind of significant party, maybe PDP or NTA or who else?
But PDP and Twiggy like you know, sailing in the same boat now.
It's clear Gigi wanted no part of Pep. He said that, and he made it abundantly clear that he wanted nothing to do with Pep.
And that is a good partner, you know. They're good friends, you know. They're friends, you know.
So that's how friends treat each other?
Well, I think he said too that some people that are supposed to file making them a legitimate, correct me if I'm wrong, they haven't done so yet.
Well, all I can say is there's a lot of distraction, a lot of noise.
So let me go to the chat quick, and then I'll go play that video. Because I thought that was kind of jokey though, real jokey. So Nadia was first in the village. Good afternoon to you, Nadia. Yes.
Hey, Nadia. Good evening.
Nadia says some good night. Yeah, the colorful emojis keep coming, Nadia. That's very beautiful of you. Nadia says, Tommy, good night. Yeah. Tommy, get some nice emojis. That's excellent, Tommy. Yeah.
Yes, everybody with this us thing now.
No, well, is a new thing are forging in Trinidad. And people now does usually go along, get along for all kind of different things now, right? People disassociate themselves from the go along, get along PNM gang. I put people in the PNM gang. I take them out. People ban me from my radio station unless the time I'm gonna apologize for them for putting them in the go along, get along PNM gang. Imagine that.
Oh,
They banned me from their program because I say they need to go along, get along
so who
PNM gang.
next in the village? Nadia. Mm-hmm.
You know, Nadia said to Keisha, good night, Lana Rose. Nadia again, Rennie, good night, Albert, Ken, Hailey, Ellis, Troy, Capiza, Vonnie. Hey, look, Vonnie Roberts coming second, yes? Yeah, Vonnie making appearances these days, but even beating up the love doctor, boy. Vonnie says, good afternoon, Nadia. I hope you already cooked lunch and preparing dinner. You are again the winner, speaking. Ansem should represent you with an award. I suggest a free trip to New York. Yeah, Vonnie. Vonnie, how I go do? I go do the flight and everything, and I go taxi. I go send you the thing virtually. Yeah, he says he can't refuse as he's sending donations to the PNM and they're costing him every day. Right? If Chalky see everybody costing the PNM. Oh God. Ronnie was in. Oh, here we go. Oh God, Tommy and Dana, please remind me so I could get the drum roll drop, please. Please remind me.
What?
Rennie says the love doctor said, good evening, boys and girls. Love in the house. Great love is all I bring. Yeah. Yes. Next, you see, sending out enormous, humongous, stupendous, masculinous love to all the ladies. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Right, go you go, Rennie.
All right. So, let me see what he says again. Respect to the panel, Mr. Walls, Lady Diana, and Mr. Tommy.
Respect,
All right.
Rennie.
Here we go. Here we go. All right. Let me for every bitter feeling, love twice as hard. For every know that good overcome bad. Time is not predictable. Living careless is unacceptable. Know what you do or say, my love, Diana, will not always come your way.
Keep on going.
Yeah, okay. All right, let me keep on going. Yes. Sorry. In case you didn't know, I just do all little extempo. And any kind of weather, I make you feel light like feather, Diana. Give love in any shape or form. Yes. In a talking, yes. Yes, you are talking to the original storm. Yeah.
Yes, as you are talking to the original. Okay, go on.
Humanity.
That wasn't Diana. That wasn't bad. And here we do this time, Diana. He went instead of just one paragraph, he went two paragraphs now, two paragraphs.
Go on.
Yeah, and he called your name twice.
Go on.
You think improving.
Go
Hey,
on.
look, hey. But look. But where's this? Bonnie, good night, all the beautiful ladies. So look now, Diana Benskin come back. Let me see.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Go ahead. You want me to read it first?
I don't want
no violets neither. And that fabulous love you're giving.
Yes.
No, but the only thing that will
the only thing that will get my attention. Eyes are blank.
Yeah, I no. You're messing it up, Ansler. I don't want no roses and no violets neither. And that fabulous love you're giving, don't bother. The only thing that will get my attention is a bank balance that says 7 million. Your silky words may sound sweetly, but if your pocket's empty, then you're peddling stress and the storm ain't subscribing to damn mess.
Okay. I ain't bad.
Gosh.
But I don't know, boy. I think I think I'll go storm out and that and storming on there.
Ah, don't
But
get me started. Don't get me
I,
started. I
I
put it
think
in colloquial and you can't read it in
I got to storm in on Rennie.
Oh, go right ahead.
so where you really want the money to be in the bank or in the pocket?
Yeah, I understand that, man.
I
Oh,
don't care where it is. Yeah,
no, but
he peddling. He and the roses and the violets. Me know one them thing.
Yeah, but you know, the Bible says money is the root of all evil. Does the Bible say that? Huh?
And money can pay your bills and you can travel all over the world and
I hear
yeah,
you.
yeah. I can't do them thing with roses and blue roses and red violets. That ain't happening.
well, you could use the roses and close your eyes and blink twice, and maybe you'll get a trip somewhere.
You
The
know,
blue roses and the red violet ain't good enough for this poet. Eh.
you know who I wanted to talk to? I wanted to talk to Karen. You know, which I
Oh yeah,
if you get
she's
chance
a
at
good one to talk to, especially with that thing that we were trying to touch upon the last show. But
right.
we
I'm
didn't
glad
delve
you video that.
too deep into it, because um, the the financial expert said that he actually rubbished the Express article
Mm-mm.
concerning the so-called losses from the HSF.
Well, Karen said something totally different. You know?
I heard
Yep, totally.
Totally different.
I heard what she
Mhm.
said.
And
You
Karen
heard what she said,
confirmed,
Tommy?
Yep,
she
To-
confirmed that there was losses.
yep.
So I mean, in that instance, people believe.
I don't know. I want to think that she's better at that job than he is.
But you want to think?
Yes.
You want
Aye.
no, do
Why you think they ain't choose her to make her the new political leader of the PNM? Yeah, they want to hide thing all and slam boy, I tell
take
you.
out I want to think, Tommy. Take off want.
Mm.
Well, I don't want to incriminate myself,
No, no, no,
right?
no.
But I'm of the belief that she knows that work a lot better than that goodly gentleman who seems to represent himself as an expert in that field.
Yeah, I mean, he was. How would I say he was something with the truth? What did I say again?
He he was
Dancing.
No,
no,
no, a power or something with the truth. You know, when you're kind of
Mm.
hiding. You know, there's the truth, but you don't want to come out and say it. You
Mm.
hide it. You bury it somewhere. I
mhm,
mean, what's the big deal if there was a loss? If there was a loss, there was a loss. Just come out and tell the people there was a loss. You know what I mean? And so far, the thing have rebounded. It's like the stock market.
right.
Only Robert says Ansem, the battle has started. Philip Alexander versus GG. Ansem,
Ah, ah,
what battle? I know battle.
ah.
Philip Alexander team up with the Farmers Party. All right, let me get to that quick, eh? All right.
Mm.
Ancient Ishmael seems to be in GG corner. I know Philip will not back down.
Mm.
Yeah. Interesting times. So, you know, that politics is a joke. I agree with that.
Of
Yeah.
course.
I,
Plenty kicks and more
I mean,
kicks.
that's the time me and you will agree. I agree with you.
But what the worst part of the whole equation is that all the distraction redounds to nothing new, nothing improved. That's the same old same.
Same old thing over and over. Yeah. And they're keeping them mired in a position where they don't want to talk about economic development, economic empowerment, economic improvement. They just keep them mired in talking about things that doesn't affect them, right? When they go to that doesn't help them when they go to the gas station, when they go to the grocery store,
Mhm.
when they go to the store in order to buy something, they keep them thinking about all these other things that has no effect, you know, on improving their lives and their children's life. And people keep lapping it up. They keep lapping it up.
Yeah, and they dangle a new administrative center in front of them in Diego Martin. That's a big trinket there. They deserve it of it, but how come it just roll out close to election time? Local election. Man, all they You know, you're all surprised that, you see why I just call myself a Bajan, eh? You can't come and bamboozle me with no trinket. I don't
No,
want to hear nothing.
but
No,
if it's a Bajan, you're not getting no ID card.
I don't care. I have an ID card in the archive and they better find it and give it back. But
All
let me tell you something. Anselm, I want Trinidad to go forward so badly. And I see children walking through mud, landslip to go and write CXCs or whatever CSCA, wherever the exam is. I mean,
no, there was a storm or rainfall. And
yeah, but yeah, the children walking through this mud and the landslip and
yeah,
the mud coming. Come on, man.
but when rainfall, I used to walk through mud in Trinidad back in the day.
Like, yeah, that is back in 19 when Adam was a boy. Come on, let's fix the thing now. Oh.
Yeah, I mean,
The rainfalls are worse now than when we were youngsters.
yeah,
Oh.
rainfall is much more. Much more. Yeah. Eileen says, keep yourself in love, blessing everyone, peace, joy, and harmony to the village family. There you go.
Oh.
Something
So,
kind of contagious in this village.
okay, so Vonnie says, I answer Farmers Party. Those are the sugarcane ex-colony workers, not a political party. They are few disenchanted. But they are not a political party, they team up with Pep. They team up with Pep. We go play that video just now.
But they go pull votes from UNC on that side down there. Ay, ay, ay. Look back now.
Eileen say, you feel sorry for me? I feel you're walking on your head.
Mm, mm, mm.
All right, Eileen, all right. I take it back. I'm not going to say anything about your party. I'm not going to call your name when I call your party anymore. All right? Politics in Trinidad is a big joke, like a soap opera. All them small parties can make no sense. It has never worked. But funny, your party is the leader because your party teaming up with the NTA.
Mm,
Come on, Avoni.
mm.
For finance minister than him, but he's an engineer. Yeah, that's a true statement.
Well said,
Yeah,
Manny.
that's a true statement. Judy,
He's
well,
he's an engineer.
yeah, he's an engineer. Yeah, call him, but he's an engineer.
Oh. But he know how to engineer numbers, window dress them.
Good evening, Judy. Good evening, my dear. Welcome to the village.
Yeah. So Eileen says, Ansem, you're walking on your head, boy. You're laughing at Philip Alexander for joining the farmers. When he seen Brett talking about economic development. Yeah. If people in Trinidad was dependent on Philip.
Let me tell you something, eh?
Yeah.
If I had a political party in Trinidad and Tobago,
You would join up in the farmers.
I would give Philip Alexander the work as Minister of Works.
The work.
Mhm.
He was not in your party, right? He was.
I would give him the work as Minister of Work. What the job Senator have?
You made him a senator. Okay, I see.
Give him the work as Minister of Works. That was Senator supposed to do, right? Okay.
Yeah, he's minister.
I would give him now.
That mightn't be a bad idea.
Mm,
That mightn't be a bad idea. You know what I mean?
mm.
Yeah. I don't think that's a bad idea, Diana. I'll be honest with you. But not as leader of no party.
Philip, sorry, you're handsome and all, but nah, I don't see you as Prime Minister. Sorry.
Yeah. I don't see him as prime minister materially.
I see him as a good watchdog and highlight the matters and hey, this here we need money to fix this here, and he does it for he does it for everybody. He has his brasserie. I have my brasserie too, eh? But he looks out for his fellow Trimbagonian, and that I like about him. But as a leader, he doesn't wow me as a leader.
He's passionate about. He's passionate about.
Yeah. He's passionate.
Fixing
Yeah. Give him the work and give him autonomy to get his job done.
Judy says, Ansem, I love Philip Alexander's policies. However, his team is weak. You have a team? Philip, people of substance and people who knows them, but not fly by night. Agreement, then he can also do a better job than him. I wanted to make an example, right? It's like the Minister of National Security, Fitzgerald Hines. Just put him nowhere close to Ministry of Security. Right? If Ministry of Security was situated in Lavantil, you should put Fitzgerald lines in Toko. You know, you want to move as far away from that.
Answer, you go get him vexed. He gonna answer the phone at all now, boy.
No, well, he respond to me 2 messages at all. I go get him on that, right? But however, Minister of Communication, when you come out and speak to the people and talk to the people about what's going on,
he's got a gift for gab.
Full 100. That is his that is his strength. And that is part of the problem we have in politics in Trinidad and Tobago.
Square pegs in round hole.
Correct is right. We just pick up people, or you run for that constituency, I go make you Minister of Education. You run for that constituency, I go make you Ministry of Sports. You run for that one, I go make you Minister of Housing. And them, even though the permanent secretarian is responsible for things that happening within the ministry, but them people and them have no kind of experience whatsoever.
Permanent secretary is responsible for what? The disbursement of the funds?
No, the permanent secretary is really responsible for what's going on in the ministry. Yeah, the permanent secretary is not the minister.
But don't the permanent secretary go across governments?
What do you mean? Yeah, that's right.
Regardless of who's in government, permanent secretary.
Yeah, they stay. It doesn't matter what government go, they stay. That's absolutely correct. That's why it tells you that they run the thing in the ministry more than anything else.
So then why is there another continuity in some of the projects?
No, that's different though. That's different. Because the ministers and them now sort of in control. The prime minister is in control with which project get done and which project don't get done. You know what I mean? Because the PS and them still have to order. They still have to answer to somebody.
Right.
You know, they still have to answer. So when if I hear there is an argument between who build how much schools and who didn't build schools, what kind of dotish argument is that, boy?
Don't make no sense.
All you're fighting over who build, who didn't build, who stopped, and what about, for example, there's Piccadilly School in Port of Spain, right? Them poor kids had to leave Port of Spain and go all the way up to Belmont now to go to school. There's a St. Philip School by the highway, the highway down there around close to John Day. Close down that school. Them kids and them want to get up earlier to go all the way, maybe a few miles away to our school. And all in Trinidad fighting, but who built more school? Who didn't build this school? The UNC built 106 school. No boy, the PNM built more. How does that help the kids in Trinidad and Tobago? How does that help the students?
Is a big John.
Big people, you know, fighting over who didn't build more schools and who didn't build the schools.
Oh God!
Listen to these people and say, boy, them people serious? Them ain't serious, you know. Tommy and Diana, who cares if UNC built 106 schools? I don't care.
Me neither.
I don't care if PNM built 2,000 schools. What I care about is that the children in the communities who need to go to school get a school to go to school.
But let me tell you something, The next set of people, they're going to move by and they don't care if they're who. You see them people in the beat watch out,
Yeah, but listen to this. These people should be fighting for them to reopen Piccadilly Government Secondary School. When I in Trinidad, I went to Calvary. Piccadilly was about 3 blocks down the road. St. Philip's was about 4 or 5 blocks up the road. We had Bethlehem down there. We had Nelson Street. We had Eastern Boys. We had all them school and them all right around there. So people could walk to school. You understand? So if I go into Piccadilly School and I live right around the corner, Lavantil Road there, and I go in right there, it's a little walk, right? Now, if I have to go all the way up to Belmont to another school, what that means to say, either got to get transportation, so it costs my mother more money.
Right? Or your mapper drop.
Well, now, you come up a drop down there. Right?
What?
You come up a drop because most of the time it's taxis going back and forth between Lavantil.
You said back in the day you used to mop drop, so.
No, but yeah, because I used to go down on the Eastern Main Road and mop a drop. You understand? So this kind of battle between who build more schools, who didn't build UNC build more schools, and oh God, boy. But let me go to this tape here with Pep. Let me see what Pep has to say.
Will be contesting all 141 electoral districts come 14th August. I thank you. United Farmers Alliance leader Davika Thomas and pundit Donny Samlal sounding a political battle cry as they have joined forces with the Progressive Empowerment Party led by Philip Alexander just 2 months before the 2023 local government election on August 14th. A handshake signified the birth of the new coalition, which they are calling an alliance. Mr. Alexander expressed great optimism about an election that does not usually have a very high voter turnout. He said many people are disenchanted with the political status quo.
I think it'll be high enough to snatch control of all the corporations from the established orders that have not fulfilled their responsibilities.
The new political development was announced in the conference center at Movie Town in Port of Spain.
Here in my hands, I have nomination forms. Over 300 people who want change have come on board with us, and they have accepted to be part of this alliance with the PEP and us. To answer your question about contesting or the 14 corporations, our membership is 72,000 strong from all over this country. They're farmers, ex-colony workers and their family, other members.
And how many people are members of the PEP?
The last time we had a count was 35,000. We screened 150, give or take. We have other information from the satellite screening stations to come in. So we think that between now and the next 5 days, we give ourselves as our time for totals to sit down with the reunited farmers and allocate who is going where, who's the best candidate for where. We will then be in a position to come back to you in one of these press conferences before nomination day to say this is who and this is where.
When TV6 News sought to find out which party symbol will represent this new alliance, Mr. Alexander began his explanation by repeating his call for a fixed date for national elections.
Every political organization in this country should have the same lead time to prepare so that we would have had public meetings planned, stuff like that. With that short lead time, we have not been able to go for an umbrella for all of us to have one symbol. So we will agree to a non-compete on certain ballot papers after nomination day. You'll see Farmers, Reunited Farmers Alliance. On some you'll see Progressive Empowerment Party. Some you will see other political parties that are registered with the EBC who are coming on board, who we are in talks with.
The Reunited Farmers Alliance leader also clarified how NGOs, community groups and other organizations interested in the alliance are to be represented on election day.
Please note that some of these groups are not registered with the EBC, but however, we have made agreements with them that they will come under our symbol.
And what about the announcement by the opposition leader that her party will begin discussions in the coming week with any one of the smaller parties willing to fight the local government election together with the UNC as a united force? Does this mean there will be no possibility of this alliance and any other parties that join the alliance you have formed of joining with the opposition, the main opposition party for the local government election?
At this point, it doesn't seem to be a rationale to do it. That's the problem. Nothing has changed in the UNC. We're getting the same old tired rhetoric, the same old beat the drum, dog whistling from both sides.
In the last local government election in 2019, the People's National Movement, which is in charge of the central government, and the United National Congress, the party in opposition in parliament, each won control of 7 of the 14 municipal corporations in Trinidad. Jewel Brown, TV6 News.
Have you guys ever heard of that party before?
Remember or not, you ever heard of it? Where they gone inside Kamala territory.
Wow.
So, it is safe to say that they're going to pull some votes from the UNC.
Nah,
Oh boy.
I'm going to pull no votes from the UNC.
You don't think so?
Nah,
Okay.
nah.
That's the same thing they say in Tobago too, eh? They ain't gonna pull no votes from the PNM. No.
Big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is Trinidad, no? It's not Tobago,
But only, y'all continue. Because you know what? Was the top of the hour? You know what? I frankly, I am tired. I tired pulling my pocket, helping all the Trini. And all you don't want to pull all your pocket and put the finger in the right color ink. I tired. Don't call me and ask me nothing.
Diana, Yeah,
Well,
are you hearing me?
yep.
It kind of get to the point where it doesn't make a difference who the hell you put in there.
I tired. I tired and fed. See my people suffering, right? And if all they don't want to take a chance and make a break and hold people accountable and make it work for you, well, only live with it then. But the storm tired. One of the villagers, the girls in the village put a letter, and I put it all over social media.
Yep.
You know, and it said that letter speaks volumes as to what is going on in Trinidad and Tobago. And that is a person on the ground. Because, you know, they like to say, well, we out here. I'm tired of hearing that too.
Yeah. Judy says it's time to move all BTM Sealers residents to some much better environment. I don't agree with that.
You don't?
No, I don't agree with that.
Do you what you said?
It's time to move all BTM Sealers residents to some much better environment, because to me, that location is prime location, prime real estate.
Fine,
Yeah.
it's prime. It's fine, it's primary, but they go you live there. They gonna move them, and they go shore up the area, for lack of a better word, and perhaps make roads or something. I don't know, but I agree with you, Judy. They need to move them and put them somewhere with a piece of land they could work and breathe better air and all that. I agree with you 1,000%.
I agree with
Go and take a survey of the people there and
But
ask them.
they may know what they want. They may know what they want.
Yeah, but what's best for them is the health. To me, it's a health hazard living in that environment.
Yeah, but Tommy,
and it would always be a health hazard.
That could be fixed easily.
Look, move them, put them somewhere, get them a piece of land, and put up and get a house, a land that they could work, they could keep garden in a well-developed area with electricity and running water and stuff. I know how frequent they're gonna get it, but they need to be moved from there.
That situation is also very political as well.
They need to be moved from there. How they creating?
With global warming, is going to become very uncomfortable to live in such environments, and they're going to have to do something about it, and they'll be forced to
eventually. How are they creating generational wealth for the children? Come on.
So instead of waiting till the so-called spit hit the fan, do something before.
Yep.
Do some good forecast planning.
All right. When we come back, we're gonna pick up that subject. It's in the village to the Triplets and WZYE 95.9 FM. Stick and stay. We'll be right back after this break.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
This thing called PNM, this thing called UNC, is one set of dotishness to Mama Kai, you and me. It ain't have no color, it ain't have no race, it ain't have no principles or any values in place. And it was never meant to be the answer for unity. It shares no philosophy with any consistency. For when you watch the pedigree in each and every party, the difference you see turns out to be a case of power and money. Look here, them French Creoles in Saint-As, Maraval and Saint-Clair, they don't know allegiance or no party here. Rich men must be supporting who they feel going to win. Loyalty, friends, means nothing. Money is their thing. That's why PNM quite on turn coat to UNC. And when Del Monte his background showed he was with DAC. Hector McLean, the speaker, swore PNM till he dead. And when the last election over, he was UNC instead. Augustus Ramreka Singh, I knew him in Tapia. Next thing I know, he was a PNM minister. John Humphrey changed from Trinity, and he joined about 5 parties. So he's only die-hard new and grassroots me. It's PNM and UNC.
We're back with you. It's In the Village with the Dark Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. We come there every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. That's Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. Let me quickly go back to the chat. Okay. Only says PNM looking for Farley here. They're looking for election, hoping to get back in power. Interesting time. Rennie says, Judy, you're thinking like Sabga. You know how long a Syrian want to clear out Sealots and beat them? Kapiza reached just before Dr. Mohammed reached. He says, I reach. Who dared? Yeah. Bonnie says, Judy, Lavantel is prime property. If the 1% get those down, they will change Porter Spin with the building they will put up. Correct is right. Why you all think they level the Workers' Bank building that could have been the Lavantel to Wall Street Empowerment Center on Duncan Street and Independence Square? Why I think they level that building and they didn't want it for the Lavantel to Wall Street Empowerment Center?
Because they don't see a future in Lavantel.
That's gentrification. And the other building right there, there's other buildings across the street too. There's a building right there across from Besson Street Police Station where there is a lot of them homeless people. That going too. So
That going
creeping up, They're creeping up, They're creeping up.
The next people they knocking, they getting out of there, then beat some people.
Yeah,
What fancy?
I think Sealots and Beaton needs to be sorted out.
Yeah.
Why we can't make those houses in the have a mansion in the back there though? A big mansion, Sealots. I went in the back there one time, boy. I shocked. Big mansion. Why don't something done with those people who live in the back there in order to build up housing for them? How come? Why not?
I wish that they would make there just a commercial area and move the residents to a better location than that. That is truly residential.
But Tommy, they don't want to move.
Well, leave them there then.
Walking to go over, they want to go. Plus, it's politics too.
Well, leave them there then.
And where are you gonna put them?
Anyway, you can put them. There's plenty of places you can put them. Then come on.
Just make a new settlement somewhere in the vicinity of Port of Spain.
All in understanding, All in understanding. This is politics. Politics. If you move them from there, what parties are stronghold of Beatum and environment?
That is abusive politics.
No, it's not abusive politics.
I mean, not abusive. Your water coming out of your tap full of feces. Ever so often you're smelling this thing.
Wherever they put them, they will still support the party.
Thank you.
You feel so?
Wherever they put them,
they support the party, they support it.
Just like the people in your area and Twiggy area, all them, they're gonna still vote PNM.
If I take you from a PNM stronghold, like Beatum Sealots, and I put you in our next PNM stronghold, what about the stronghold I just take you from?
Well, guess what? There'll be nobody there.
So I could lose that seat.
To whom?
Oh, you mean the next party?
To whom? Oh, you mean? I'm saying, but you is one that say, no matter what you do, that them people in them areas, they ain't voting nobody but PNM. They're like, let me tell you, they're so abused. They're abused. When you're abused, you don't think right.
All right.
You cannot think right. When you're abused, you can't think right.
So
These
let me
people are abused. They put a finger in the ink religiously
they could
for
think right.
years. And
They
this
could,
would and all these things going on. They knock down the building, they flatten the building in your area. They messing with Park Street. All they help many chat, I don't know the area too good. They messing with people up in Barry Watson when and get barricade himself in. Come on, man. They abuse them and the services in that corridor, the young men and they killing one another. What it is, they abuse, they can't think
I have
properly.
a question. If I take 3,000 people out
Wow.
of Eastern environs,
Mm-hmm.
them in our next PNM stronghold,
Mhm.
right? What happens now to that stronghold that has moved them 3,000 voters from?
Nothing happens.
What do you mean by nothing happens? The voter base was reduced by 3,000, Tommy.
Yeah, but the other voters who support you will continue to support you.
But suppose, but we don't know that. Suppose then now a lot of them decide they want no longer. It's easier now to win because you have 3,000 less supporters. It's politics. But let's bring in Dr. Mohammed. The political scientist will tell us.
The answer is, I agree with what Tommy just said. The answer is that the stronghold remains. 3,000
Mhm.
people does not change the stronghold.
Thank you. And they abuse, right, Dr. Mohammed? They abuse.
And
They
nearly
can't
dead.
think
Well, listen, I would
straight.
not lie to you. I nearly dead with that one. But I don't think they're abused. I think they are acclimatized.
They were? A climber
They
who?
are
You smelling
acclimatized.
feces day and night. You can't get no work. Your children sick.
They're
You are
acclimatized.
feces coming out your pipe. That is acclimatization. That's abuse.
When you know that you have at your disposal the um, Ministry of Social Development, which is which I dub the Ministry of Social Dependency, then what you need again? When you know that you make some noise and you will be guaranteed at 10 days under CPF and URP, what else you need?
So that what I tell you, they're abused. How can you build intergenerational wealth?
They have been mentally acclimatized, and those who are not acclimatized and who the thing about it is we have allowed this whole issue of CPF and URP to also run astray.
That's a cancer that need digging out too.
And has led to the creation of gangs and ghost gangs and you name it, right? And turf wars and that kind of thing. Listen, this, we haven't even reached the point of speaking. We haven't reached the middle road. We haven't even reached the middle of this campaign. And this local government election has already exhausted.
Bacchanal.
Before we go, who came up with the Farmers Party? Are they a political party or they are no? Because no, seriously, I never heard of them before. Are they?
They're brand new. They're brand new. They're brand new. They have.
Dr. Shane,
they've been as.
Did we have a
you all have been paying attention to Dr. Mohammed a little too much.
Dr. Mohammed?
Yeah. And we had to get to your story.
Did we not have a Workers and Farmers Party in the early 70s, late 60s, if I'm not mistaken?
Of course we did. Of course we did. If I'm not mistaken, Mr. Pandey was no, I'm not mistaken. Mr. Pandey was very much a part of that. But good evening, everybody. Good evening.
Good evening to you.
I came in here and the farmers, it's called the Farmers Reunited Farmers Alliance. And they are the organization that was previously a community-based organization that was responsible for lobbying and successfully getting the VSEP packages that have been owed to about 1,400 to 2,000 ex-Carney workers for the last 20 years, 25 years. And they were successfully able to get it committed to the farmers, and there was a memorandum of understanding signed by the Minister of Agriculture, and a commitment that those farmers would get their land and they will also get their money. Well, more or less their money and visa packages. So now that organization has teamed up with PEP, COP, MSG to form an alliance, and they will be contesting all 141 seats.
Wait, say that again. Say that again. Pep, who's that?
PEP, MSG, and COP.
COP?
Mm-hmm.
This still around?
As long as there's a political leader in the position, answer them, they're always going to be a political
leader
party.
Who's the political leader?
Kurt Sinnott.
Wasn't that like the cyclist or the boxer?
I don't know if Kurt was a cyclist or a boxer, but he ran in one of the lavender seats.
Okay. So PEP, the farmers, COP. Who else? MSJ.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's gonna be the leader?
PEP.
So Philip gonna be the leader then?
And from what I am hearing, because I have not gotten a lot of feedback from it, Philip seems to be the spokesperson. I assume that he's going to be the leader.
What about the logo? Who logo they using? What logo gonna be using? PEP logo or their own logo?
From what I understand, there's a party that has been registered as the Reunited Farmers Alliance. And I've only been told yesterday there's a new party that has been registered. I'm trying to find the political leader of that party, called the Movement and Voice of the People, MVP.
Who's the leader?
I don't know. I was asked the same question.
What about Hope?
But it was gazetted yesterday. It was gazetted yesterday, and it was in the Gazette that under the Election and Boundaries Commission, a new political party has been registered. And let me tell you what the symbol is, if I could still find it. And the question came to me late last night. I was like, who is this? I didn't realize I was looking for the Election and Boundaries Commission, to be quite honest. But let me tell you. The symbol is like a circle with the capital M.V.P, and underneath has Movement and Voice of the People, and this is the symbol. Creative, don't you think?
Yeah.
Well, it's better than the middle finger.
Yeah. Under with that one. What about Hope? Who Hope aligning themselves with? Hope
Not aligning themselves with anybody.
Okay, what do you want to say?
The first question we should ask is, who's Hope's leader?
Dr. Mohammed, do you think with all these little splintered and fractured alliances, like the one with Philip and the farmers, could that possibly take votes away from Kamala's base?
Of course.
I think them people staying with the UNC. I think them people staying with the UNC. Them loyal like Capiza and Vonnie Roberts and them fellas and them is UNC.
Vonnie says, Dr. Shane, if you had to grade the PNM's performance so far from 1 to 10, what would you grade them? The honest truth is, to be truthful to you, I have a serious problem with, I'll tell you where the issues are to start with Vonnie. I have a problem with the fact that there is, let me get the right word that I want to say. There is, it's not xenophobia, but there is a belief by the PNM that anyone who is not a PNM should not be involved in the process of governance. And therefore, you will never see someone like me, and I will use myself. Was I on the show with you all between last week and this week? No. So let me tell you all what happened. my aunt, I told you that my aunt passed, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So I also did. I went to the. I had obviously I went to the funeral, and because my family, the Mohammed family, there are whilst but my cousins, my extended family, there are very few of us who are very vocal, and I think out of everybody, I'm the most vocal. And I say I don't get my personality and my drive and my hot mouth, as people will say. I did not get that from the Mohammed family. I got it from the Hussein side of the family, which is my mother's side of the family. And therefore, a lot of my family members on the Mohammed side are very shy people, and they are not public speakers. When they are in the circles with family, they are very personable and they interact with each other because the family is very large and very wide. My great grandfather had 13 children, so you can imagine how large that group of cousins and second cousins are. But yeah, on Monday when I went to the funeral, um, one of the things that happened was that my cousin, who is my aunt's grandson, he had to I had to guide him. I was like, well, when the minute I arrived, Mrs. June Williams, who I call Auntie June, and Mrs. Manning, who I call Auntie Hazel, especially Auntie June, she saw me and she's like, well, you reached. I was like, well, yeah, I hear. And I don't think Dr. Rowley understood the closeness of the family. And therefore, when I asked what were we waiting on, one of his security came up to me and he said, well, we're waiting on the Prime Minister. And said, is the Prime Minister going to be coming to the funeral? He said he's on his way. It should be here in about 4 minutes or 53. So we had everything put together. My cousins went inside. Even my aunt's daughters went inside. And it was just me and her grandson. And he said, what to do? I said, all you need to do is stand next to me, shake the Prime Minister's hand, and I will take it from there. So I think when Rolly spin the corner and I give it to him because he was very diplomatic, and I think he was very poker faced. So was I, but I think it would have, in his head, he would have been like, wait a second, the relation here is closer than I anticipated or I thought. So I had to shake his hand, and I had to welcome him, and I said, Prime Minister, it's so nice of you to have come. And I said, go straight in. We were waiting on you to start. He said, I apologize because of the traffic and whatnot. That has been the first interaction that I have had with Dr. Keith Rowley on a one-on-one basis in about 10 years, 10 years or more. The last time I met Dr. Rowley is I was passing him in front of the Red House, and I shook his hand and I said, Chief, and he was very, very abrasive. And, I was happy to know that he was diplomatic and he could be diplomatic at the funeral. But the point to make to Vonnie is this. You will never see someone like me get a call from the PNM that they want me to sit on a committee that is brainstorming or looking to transform an aspect of governance as one. You will never see them call me to say, we'd like for you to sit on the board of directors of TNZ, let's just say, or Costa, or whoever. And that's because there is the belief that anybody who does not ascribe to everything that the PNM says or does is anti-PNM and anti-PNM, full stop. My approach to government and the difference in how I think about government is that regardless of whether you're PNM, your UNC, your COP, your MSJ, your PEP, your farmers, your NTA, your Tobago, as long as you have a passion for the development of Trinidad and Tobago and you subscribe to a philosophy that is progressive and speaks to transformation of institutions and processes and procedures, then why can't you be part of the whole? That's my take, right? I think to some extent, I will not say to a great extent, Kamla Prasad showed and emulated some of those qualities. And I say the word some with a grain of salt. So to answer Bonnie's question, the PNM lacks the ability to effectively communicate. The PNM has a lack of empathy and compassion, and it lacks a direct connect with the ground. In a local government election, one of your main campaign themes is property tax. Do you really think in a country that has just come out of COVID, we are not yet at a space, regardless of what Imbert says, we are not at a space of development. We are not at a space of economic development or prosperity as we would like. We still have Petrotrin, I will say Petrotrin hanging on a noose, swinging in the wind, right? There is no direction there. So when Petrotrin says that they made a profit of $1 billion and something dollars, my question is, well, where you get it? How? Where you do? Because I don't see a refinery working, right? Unless you're selling oil raw, right? But to sum the performance of, I will give them a bare minimal. They will not even get a pass mark of 5. I may even say at this stage they are at a 3 or a 4, and that is me being kind.
So here it is, right? And Dr. Mohammed, we're gonna get to your article in, I think it's in the Guardian.
Yes.
It's in Guardian. Yeah, people watching you, don't think people ain't watching you. People paying attention, I mean, even people in foreign. But
and let me tell you something. I think what the Guardian didn't realize, and what CNC3 didn't realize, that I could only imagine for Professor Hamid Ghani, he must have been blowing steam and smoke to know that he was placed in the same article as Dr. Mohammed.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I have an idea what that's about, but I'm going to leave it there. But anyway, I just get this in my inbox. It says, UNC and Pro. This is a UNC's Facebook page. And it says the UNC is not like a cow. It cannot be bought, sold, or transferred. The fact that Kamala is willing to sell out the membership for no reason is perplexing and without merit. The following questions must be answered by the leadership. Will the UNC membership from Diego Martin and Samuel Laventil accept the NTA and the MND on the political landscape? I don't know what they say, PL. What does PL mean?
Political leader.
Oh, on the political leader, say so. Okay, that's how they have it. Secondly, are we weakening our party and losing members by forcing them to support smaller parties with no track record in the electoral politics? Third, the NTA and the MND have nothing to offer the UNC but everything to gain. So why is Kamala so adamant about forming a coalition with two former PP ministers who are now the leaders of 2 insignificant smaller parties with no relevance in Trinidad and Tobago political landscape? 4, finally, who benefits from this coalition, the smaller parties, the UNC, or Kamala Persad-Bissessar? In conclusion, the UNC and Proud are not opposed to any alliance that will benefit the party and its supporters. Although Kamala stated on Monday that she's looking to the youths for succession, how can we believe this if she's willing to sell out the party and its supporters in the name of self-preservation? Succession will always be a pipe dream for many of our young supporters north of the Caroni Bridge. KPB must be reminded of the context in which she cited Mr. Pandit to assert that the UNC is not like a cow, it cannot be bought, sold, or transferred. So there you have it. So
that was written from someone within the UNC who has everything to lose if Kamala Persad-Bissessar maintains the 7 corporations that that the UNC now has.
Okay.
There's a force within the UNC that does not want Kamala Persad-Bissessar to win or to even maintain the 7 corporations because they believe that the minute Kamala loses the local government election, they have ammunition to cut her throat.
So it's interesting, right? There are some people who want within the UNC who wants Kamala Prasad-Bissessar to lose a
Yes.
certain amount of corporations. And on the
She
flip
can only
side,
use one. There's only one that she can lose, and she's made the biggest mistake by putting one of she's made the biggest mistake with regard to one of the persons who is um, who is within her party structure, but also one of her deputy leaders, um, to run the Sandy Grande Corporation campaign.
you know, and there was another question with regards to Sandy Grande Corporation too, because there was some rumblings, and the leader of the corporation had to come out. Well, the guy in charge of the corporation, I don't forget his name, right? I forgot his name.
Jutaram.
Jutaram, right? He came out and said this. They were saying that there was an alliance with the NTA, and the NTA were given the Sandy Grande Corporation by Mrs. Kamala Prasad-Bissessar, and he had to come out and
That's
say
not
that's
true.
not true. That's
That's
not
not
true.
true.
Right. So he had to come out and debunk that sort of fake news, right? So
Mhm.
I was also going to play that video too as well, but I wanted to say that the flip side to people in the UNC want Mrs. Kamala Prasad-Bissessar to lose certain corporations. There are also
There's only
people
one.
in them.
There's only one. There's only one that Kamala is going to lose, or potentially can lose.
Okay.
And that would make it. That will give whoever. It will give those that are against her and who are waiting with. Some of them are waiting with rope.
Yeah.
Some are waiting with a chopper. Some are waiting with anything else that they can use to strangle the lady, right? What I don't understand.
But wait, before you go on, I don't want to forget this. On the flip side, there are so many PNM who want the PNM to lose certain corporations to send the political leader a message.
Yes, but that will never happen.
Okay. All right.
Right now they are in equal grounds. It's equal. 7-7. Right? Nobody's going to, I cannot at this stage, I cannot see it swinging. The one corporation I have my eyes on right now, the only corporation I have my eyes on right now is Grande.
Is where?
Sandy Grande.
Or Sandy Grande. That they could possibly lose that.
And there is a particular seat that I am looking at, which is Sandy Grande South, where there's a former UNC supporter who is now a PNM candidate for the seat. The UNC understanding, Prasad-Bissessar understanding that Grande is the balance of power, has made some changes to candidates in the Grande area. Therefore, it is left to be seen what happens in Grande. I can tell you, if she doesn't micromanage this properly, she could very well be setting herself up for failure. Because the very same people that she has entrusted to go in there and manage the campaign for Grande may very well be the same person that once is holding the rope to hand.
But it sounds like you have inside information, you know.
I always do.
Oh. Okay. So what we are hearing from you is that.
Hold on, Vonnie. There's no. The answer to that is no. There's no at this stage. No, the UNC cannot win the San Fernando Corporation. That's something. In fact, they are poised to lose some of the seats that they won in 2019. So I could safely say that's going back to the PNM.
So, Dr. Mohammed, you are basically predicting either 8-6 or 7-7 again. Basically.
I am.
And
yes.
8-6 in favor of the PNM.
Yes.
And as opposed to 8-6 in favor of the UNC.
There's no other corporation that she can add. The one corporation, if she had worked well, and she had focused on knowing that a local government election was imminent, would have been San Fernando.
Vonnie says, but there was no confirmation from the UNC leadership that anyone of the party have confirmed joining the party UNC. Oh yeah, NTA is a done deal.
No. I am telling you that there is. I know. I can safely say from a place of knowing that there's conversations that are happening, and my advice has been sought, and I have given as you know this, I have said this to all of you all, that if somebody comes to me, regardless of whether it is the NTA, the PAP, the UNC, the PNM, they come to me and they ask my advice, I am first and foremost a professional. I will give you my honest advice. I have given my honest advice, and therefore it's left to be seen what the outcome of those discussions are. I don't believe those discussions.
And what is that honest advice, Dr. Mohammed?
I don't believe the conversations and the negotiations are going to be fruitful.
Say that again. You don't believe what?
The conversation and the negotiations are going to be fruitful.
Okay. So did you also see the article by Dr. Devon Mirage as well?
I did, and I agree 100% with it. I think what Devon would have done is he would have probably leaped off of what I said, which is almost similar. And even Fuad Khan has actually, I heard from Fuad, to be honest, for the first time in a while, and he wanted to get my opinion on what my thoughts were about her utterances with regard to a coalition. And I am saying that who trusts Kamala? You see, I'll tell you this. I don't have faith and confidence in Kamala Prasad-Viswas anymore. One, I've made that very public. I've made that very known to everybody. I don't have faith and confidence in Kamala's ability. I think the litmus test for Kamala's leadership was in 2020. It was her election to win, and she lost it because she again did not listen to advice. Kamala Prasad-Viswas and Dr. Rowley are two different sides of the same coin. They have caused a serious level of political apathy to take place in Trinidad and Tobago. And therefore, that is why we will see that there's a constant call, even on your show, by persons for a new political entity to arise. Judy asked, who would make a good leader of the UNC? The answer is me.
Answer is who?
Me.
Okay. All right.
The question is the UNC worth fight? Is the UNC's leadership worth fighting for? The answer to that question is no. Why? Because the UNC is toxic. The UNC does not hold to the principles by which many people were taught and many people would have grown up with. The UNC lacks proper structure. It is a reason why key persons who held critical seats in different corporations switched their allegiances and have gone PNM. It is why there has been several persons who have been aligned to the UNC has gone over to the PNM. And I also made the comment in the Guardian article that people are not leaving the PUNC and moving to the PNM because they subscribe to the PNM ideology or philosophy. They have simply shifted because they see a political opportunity and an opportunity to have a space and to hold an office and to be in a position of power, right? Nobody wants to be aligned consistently with a losing strategy or a losing party. And 7-7 does not necessarily mean that the parties have tied, because we then have to look into the 141 seats and see how they have been distributed across the political divide. And most times, the PNM is always in local government elections. Most times, not always, but it has been shown that even with the 7-7 tie of corporations, the PNM has more seats.
So Dr. Mohammed, I just wanted to read from the Guardian article here. It says geopolitical analyst Dr. Shane Mohammed said Prasad Busesa must assess her leadership style within the UNC before inviting others to join, as he recalled the exits of former UNC member Jack Warner, Ramona Ramdale, Vasant Bharat, Dr. Fawood Khan, and Michaela Pandey. If Mrs. Prasad Busesa wants to be as magnanimous as she appeared on that platform on Monday night, she first has to fix her own party, he says. Dr. Mohammed further questioned which political parties would be willing to join the UNC, pointing out that an alliance will be announced by a coalition at Movie Tongue on Wednesday. That was the PEP and the farmers market. Is that what it is?
Farmers Alliance. You're too damn disrespectful.
Apologize. I apologize. I apologize. I apologize. That press conference will be hosted by the Progressive Empowerment Party leader, Philip Edward Alexander, who rejected Prasad Busesa's call for unity among smaller parties during an interview with Guardian Media. Moreover, the political analyst suggested that many UNC members are bewildered and are supposedly looking to the PNM for stability. What exactly do you mean by that, Dr. Mohammed?
Structure. Let me tell you something, and I'll tell you again from a place of knowing. Persons were screened for the Sandy Grande seat 2 weekends ago. People walked into the screening committee, met with Dr. Rowley, met with the executive of the Sandy Grande constituency, met with the MP. They went to screening, and by the time they walked out of the screening, within half an hour, they knew whether or not they were the candidate. There are people that are still waiting, who have been screened for many corporations. They are still waiting by the UNC. And we are about 11 days away from nomination day. Let me just answer Vonnie. I feel you are toting feelings from the UNC. Those feelings that you feel that I'm toting are 10 years too late, friend. So, if you had checked, if you had asked that question, and let me tell you something. Not because I'm critical of the UNC, and I was affiliated, and I did understand a lot of the philosophy of the UNC means that I'm toting. It means that exactly what I said in the newspaper. You can't want to be magnanimous to other political parties and bring them into your fold and ask them to form an alliance with you when your house is fractured terribly. And not only is your house fractured in several ways. One, there's a strong group of progressives that are on the periphery of the party that has been cast out by Kamala Prasad-Busesa. One. Two, within the UNC, in terms of the people in the hierarchy of the UNC, there are 6 different factions led by 6 different people, all scrambling for one thing. Holding on to the dress tail of the leadership of the party, one, to maintain their political relevance. Another set is holding on so that they could fight for the leadership of the party, hoping that she collapses or loses any election. 3, there are those that just want to see the entire party mash up and that they could take over and run with it. So they have personal agendas. 4, there's a group of young people that will only get their political relevance by holding on to the leadership and how we like to say surhowing or rubbing the shoulders of the political leader. And 6, there are irrelevant individuals in the political space that are relevant only because of the leadership of Kamala Prasad-Busesa.
You know, I go ahead.
The party is completely and terribly fractured, and that is as a result of the single-handed leadership of Kamala Prasad-Busesa, which is piss poor.
But why would the NTA want to align themselves if they say they're coming with something different, a new movement, something different, and you're going to align yourself with the UNC? How that could be any different?
There's hope. There's somewhere there's a hope.
Hope for what?
And that's the thing. You have to see this thing. I don't have an appreciation for utopianism and what could happen or what we could try, because there's a lot of things that have been tried and tested and has failed. Unless you are able, and my advice is this: if Kamala has to lose the local government election, then let her lose. Maybe the best version of Kamala Prasad Bisasa is one that loses the local government election and faces a barrage of threats from within her party. And then therein comes somebody or some people who say, you know what, we are willing to help you, but you have to move aside.
Now here's a
But
question, right?
keeping the status quo, as the NTA I assume wants to do in terms of assist, is not helping the development of Trinidad and Tobago, because there's still this belief that no third party or no communion of people can come together and form a third party to remove the PNM out of power. And you see, we also made a very big statement that I think you didn't mention, but I will say to you that she said, as part of her caveat to this "let's come together," is that no party is going to dictate to the UNC its terms and conditions. So it's my way or the highway from the onset.
Dr. Mohammed, what do you think is going on with Twiggy and the PDP?
Twiggy is upset with the PNM. Twiggy has been upset with the PNM forever. And Twiggy has a love-hate relationship with the PNM. And Duke is looking for political relevance and friends, and hoping that he could win one seat within the corporation of Port of Spain, or somehow win 6 out of the 12. Duke has been, nobody pays Duke any attention. Duke is no longer relevant. He's not. I just came back from Tobago a couple hours ago. Duke is not even relevant in the political space in Tobago. Duke has, and I'll tell you this: Duke has he's been relegated to writing letters to the chief secretary, telling the chief secretary that, look, the UN, Duke has been has relegated to writing letters to the UN, to the chief secretary, advising him that, in one letter he said, I advise you on and I appeal to you to revert back to the principles of the PDP under which you swore an oath to upkeep the governance and the integrity. And I'm like, Duke, you're the last man to talk about these things. You were a man who was, you were in a sex tape with a deputy political leader of yours, and you come back out shameless with it. Right? And then before I left Tobago, there's another press release where he's writing again, and he's saying, I implore you to come out and be transparent and be truthful and provide the people of Tobago with the information that they're seeking. And I'm saying to myself, shut up.
Yeah, the 10 toes was having tea.
10 toes were more than having tea. I think they were having coffee and some little brandy too, right?
Yeah, I believe that.
Vonnie, I want you to know something. I know so much from the UNC because I was once in it.
Yeah, I think
and I don't deny the fact that I was once a part of UNC. What I will say to people that it is something that I learned a lot about and I learned a lot from, and that is why I chose to walk away from it, because it had become toxic. It no longer aligned with my political principles. And that's why many people has walked away.
Now, Dr. Mohammed, don't you think that the NTA alliance with the UNC is going to destroy what they have, what little credibility they have?
And that is something that I said to the political leader. I did say that. I said you run the risk of destroying your credibility in the eyes of the people.
And not only that, right? So let's just say now that Mrs. Kamala Prasad, the UNC retains 6 out of the 7 seats. The PNM gets 8, and the NTA gets none. Well, what? Where does the NTA stand now?
Well, you see, I gather that he's going to go into the conversation. He's going in there to negotiate for seats. And he cannot be stupid enough to not, he cannot be so stupid that he's going to negotiate for seats and he's not going to negotiate for safe UNC seats either. If for you to go into a conversation and to go into negotiation with Mrs. Prasad Bisasa, And all that you are going to get from her is fight all of the PNM seats that we don't win. Then you're literally slapping your face with your foot.
Yeah, but Dr. Mohammed, if I am Kamla Prasad Besessa and I have 7 seats, why will I put you to run in a seat that I've won for the past 2 local general elections, for example?
Because that's what it comes. That's what political negotiation comes with. It comes with being able to be fair and to understand that you can't just simply give to the partners of your political partners seats that you don't want or you know that you can't win. At least give to your partners some winning seats, some winnable seats, and then the others you can trash out. But you can't tell me if I go to the UNC with a political party and I say to Kamala that I will negotiate. Let's sit down and discuss this, and let's try to come to some agreement. And I say to her, I said, well, one of the things that I want you to consider is that there are 10 seats up for grabs in the Princeton Regional Corporation. I want 4. And she says to me, no. And we know that Princeton, she wins all 10 seats most times. Then I will say to her, well, you're not serious. If I know in DB Penal there are probably 10 or 11 seats, and I win all, and I ask you to give me 4 or 5, and you say no, then you're not serious. Then you say, here what? I win 2 seats in Point Fortin. Those 2 seats in Point Fortin I am keeping. You take the other 7 that I lose. How is that so? If you don't give me some to win, you want to give me some to lose, you want to give me all to lose? That's not how you negotiate. And then on top of that, I would ask, let me come into San Fernando and let's see if we can work together and I can help you win San Fernando, but one of my people become mayor and one of your people become deputy mayor. And then if you take in the chairmanship of Princeton Regional, one of my people must be deputy chairman. And if you take in the chairmanship of if you take in the chairmanship of Princeton, then give me the chairmanship of DB Penal and you take the deputy chairmanship. And if you take in the mayorship of Shogunas, I get the deputy mayorship. That's how it's supposed to work. But don't tell me you taking all for yourself.
Well, that's very interesting. Well, you would know better because you've been in the trenches before.
She can't afford to. She's not dealing. You see, Winston Dukaran was very kind to Kamala Prasad Besessa. He was very kind to Kamala Prasad Besessa. In fact, too kind to Kamala Prasad Besessa in 2010. And he could have and he should have negotiated for more than 5 seats. And on top of that, it has been proven that the UNC was responsible for the decimation of the COP, right? Vonnie, to be honest with you, with the poor performance of the PNM, I don't expect that as has been customary, I don't believe that there's going to be a high voter turnout in this election because they're not speaking to the issues that are affecting the people.
So, Dr. Mohammed, I want to get back to a point that you said there. Do you think the PDP has more than 2 chances, slim of none, in winning a corporation?
Slim left the building.
Slim left the building.
Why are we even bringing the PDP into the discussion? The PDP is looking for political relevance. The PDP is not even relevant in Tobago.
But we have to ask that question. If you know what I mean. So here what I'm saying. What I'm hearing from you, right? Mm-hmm. What I'm hearing from you is that basically, Mrs. Kamala Prasad Besessa is sort of weakening the party by having to give up, right, certain seats in certain.
I don't. No, I don't. Listen. Remember, Kamala is the one that opted. Kamala is the one that went on a platform, and Kamala is the one that declared that she is open to bringing in and partnering with other political parties to take the PNM out of the local government election.
Mm-hmm.
Prasad, we don't know what seat they're still talking, so we don't know about the seat sharing yet. I don't even think it's going to get to that point. So she's the one.
Mohammed, you know what I like about you? Yeah, what I like about you, yeah? We don't even have to read the chat no more, you know. Yeah, no, seriously. Yeah, no,
yeah,
that's
because
good.
you know why? I'll tell you why. Because it's when I teach, when I lecture online, and we have the chat.
Yeah,
when
yeah,
we
yeah.
have the when I
That's a
lecture on the
great thing.
chat.
That's a great thing. I like that.
Yeah,
I really like that.
when I am doing my lectures, and it's a similar setting, right? And the chat is there. So when students don't want to talk on the mic, they put the questions into the chat. So it comes naturally. So it's not that. Yeah.
If we could get more people to do like that, it would be a little more, you know.
It's a very if people are not accustomed to it, it's going to be difficult because they are not they don't understand the connection and the linkage. But when I look at the screen, I also just flip across to the chat because it's what happens in a classroom now. So it's easy, you know. But I'm not to answer the question. She is the one who made the decision that the UNC needed to come together and put itself align itself with other political parties. What she has inadvertently admitted is that the UNC is not strong enough to go on its own to fight the PNF. And what she has also attempted to do is to try to lure these several political parties to come under her umbrella so that she takes away from anybody who may split a vote or to take away a seat. Because remember, if a party gets more than 25% of votes in a corporation, they are entitled to an alderman. That's how the equation works. Remember, the sharing of aldermen are by proportional representation. So if you may not win a seat, as had happened under the ILP in 2016, you may not have won a seat, but you would have accrued a number of votes that allowed you to get one alderman in the mix. And therein is where the ticklishness comes. That is what Hamid Ghani was alluring to. That also comes into play. That this is not just about councillors alone, but who gets an alderman.
Interesting. Passat said, what I mean is what seat the NTA is sharing.
That's what I'm saying, Passat. They've not reached to the conversation yet as to seats sharing. He's not gone into that level of conversation and they haven't met on that level just yet. He's at the point of seeking advice from his executive and that sort of thing before he goes in.
So Rose says KPB forgot to mention that her call was only for foolish persons to join with her.
And listen, like I said to Gary, I said to him, how I don't feel comfortable looking at a Guardian article on social media with your picture next to Gavin Nicholas' picture. And I started to laugh. And he said, yeah. I mean, oh gosh, man. I said, no, that is to tell you that Gavin Nicholas is so desperate for political relevance that he leapt into KPB's arms. He didn't even give it a thought. Why? Because ask him how many people does he have in his party. Ask him which corporation he wants to fight. The only one he'll tell you is Lego Martin because that's the only one he thinks that he can have some sway. Whereas I still think if Gary had gone into San Fernando on his own, he may have been able to pick up a seat or two and be the difference in the balance of power, right? But I put out a challenge and say that and this is what I believe. Even if Kamala agrees to give Gary if they come to the point of sharing seats, I don't believe that Kamala is going to give Gary the opportunity to fight the seat under the NTA brand. She's going to turn around and say, give me your candidate and I'll put your candidate to fight under the UNC banner.
That
And that has always been her modus operandi. That will not change.
Yeah, that
As I always say, a snake changes its skin, but not its venom.
I think so. Yeah, we're gonna go for a quick break after that. I think that's not beneficial to the NT. If I had to give Gary advice, I would have tell Gary, you see this one local election here, go it alone.
Sit it out.
Sit
it out or go it alone.
Right. Either you go it alone or you sit it out and wait for the general election and continue to campaign, go across the country, get more people to know the NTA. But if you go here and things don't work out for you, cancel Christmas, it's over. It's over. Yeah.
You still going to Christmas? Cancel Thanksgiving, it's over.
Well, I gave him a little time, a little time.
Listen, the turkey is so cold and frozen at that point in time, you might as well throw it in the garbage.
Yeah. I just felt that for all this work that he has done to make him feel like if he's the third force, to go and combine now with Kamala Persad-Bissessar seemed to me that you have taken 5 steps backwards. Even though sometimes you had to
because there's again, it pains me. I would not lie to you all. It pains me because there's some belief that that would be the difference to get Kamala to understand that she's no longer politically relevant. But if you assist her in becoming in maintaining political relevance, then she's going to watch you in your face and say, but how you mean I'm not irrelevant? I just won the election.
Yeah. And there we go. So, folks, we're going to go for a quick station identification. We have with us, they call you geopolitical.
Geopolitical scientist.
Yeah, I had to make sure I remember that, boy. Geopolitical scientist.
Because I'm all over.
All right. I like that. Geopolitics. We have with us tonight Dr. Shane Mohammed, no stranger to individuals with the Triplets and WZYE 95.9 FM, geopolitical scientist, Dr. Shane Mohammed. Stick and stay. We'll be right back after this short message. It's individuals with the Triplets on WZYE 95.9. And when we come back, Dr. Mohammed, we want to talk about the oppressive and regressive property tax of 3% of ARV to the people of Trinidad and Tobago and what sort of effect it can have. We'll be right back after this show.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
This thing called TNM, this thing called UNC, is one set of dotishness to Mama Kai, you and me. It ain't have no color, it ain't have no race, it ain't have no principles or any values in place. And it was never meant to be the answer for unity. It shares no philosophy with any consistency. For when you watch the pedigree in each and every party, the difference you see turns out to be a case of power and money. Look here, them French Creoles in Saint-As, Maraval and Saint-Clair, they don't know allegiance or no party here. Rich men must be supporting who they feel going to win. Loyalty, friends, means nothing. Money is their thing. That's why PNM quite on turned court to UNC. And when Del Montley, his background showed he was with DAC. Hector Mucklin, the speaker, swore PNM till he dead. And when the last election over, he was UNC instead. Augustus Ramreka Singh, I knew him in Tapia. Next thing I know, he was a PNM minister. John Humphrey changed from Trinity and he joined about 5 party. So he's only die-hard new and grassroots me. It's PNM and UNC.
Back with you. It's in the village with the Dad Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. We come there every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. That's Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. Tommy, did you want to say something?
No,
Okay. All right, no problem.
I'll apologize for interruption.
Right. Yeah. So Dr. Shane Mohammed, geopolitical scientist, right? This is what I'm quoting
Hold
now.
on. Vonnie asked he wanted to hear my comments on the stabilization fund. He heard Karen's comments. I understand the need to have dipped into the Heritage and Stabilization Fund during the period of COVID. And I understand that we have reached a point of economic stagnation. And I think one of the things that the reasons why Pandey and Manning had that vision for Heritage and Stabilization Fund was for economic emergencies such as these. But I also believe that governments owe themselves and the people a duty and responsibility as much as possible to put back money into the fund so that you can take it either bring it if you've caused it to have deficits, bring it back to a balanced level and then start putting where there are, there's more, right? Imbert has not provided us with numbers. All he said is that we were in a deficit of 900 and something million and that we are where we were in 2015. Nobody in the opposition, in fact, nobody who is a political activist, nobody who is a political and actively involved in politics, I should say, a political player, an actor. Nobody has taken it upon themselves, with the exception of economist Mala Dukaran, to challenge Imbert to say, show us, present a report from the central bank that says that when you went into office in 2015, there was so much and such billions of dollars. And note that the Heritage and Stabilization Fund is in the US dollars, right? So there was such and such billions of US dollars that they met in 2015. And during the period of such and such, this is what was extracted from the Heritage and Stabilization Fund. And during this period to 2022 or 2023, we injected into it X and Y amount of money from revenues collected from X or Y or Z. You see, that statement is where I say the PNM continues to not be able to effectively communicate. They present something and they expect people to just swallow it, and that's a level of hubris and arrogance that will never leave them. Sorry to say, it's never going to leave them. And Imbert is a man that, while I believe that Imbert is not he's frugal when it comes to spending, even so much when it comes to spending in the interest of the people. I think he could at least report as a Minister of Finance effectively on how was the money raised and that sort of thing.
My belief is that the Minister of Finance knows what he doesn't want to report, and those things he decide, I'm not going to report. What is the best way in order for me to influence the people in the country by not reporting exactly what it is? So, he ran around the mulberry bush, he tiptoed around it. And as you said, right, I mean, I guess Karen kind of took him to task as well. And, the opposition leader did raise the $6 billion, loss that they had in the HSF. But I don't think anybody really took them to
beat
task.
that iron. Nobody beat the iron. You
It's
know,
true.
Kamala would have skirted it, right? But you don't. You see that this is my issue. You pride yourself, and this is Kamala I'm talking about. You pride yourself in saying that when you were prime minister, you injected a lot of money. And I will say this, the partnership did experience a certain level, no, not even a certain level, an exponential level of prosperity during its time in office.
This is
And
true.
while I will always say as well that while they made a lot of money, they also gave people and made sure that the people got money. I mean, there are political people, people who have been politically neutral, people who have also been anti-UNC, but they always say that under Kamla Prasad Bisasa, money trickled from the top down to the ground. At the same time, however, I would say that Kamla bad spend money, right? And she allowed ministers to bad spend money and to get away with what I would say is financial treason. And that is one of the reasons why she did not regain government. Flip side, the PNM that has not, and you know, for somebody who would have injected a certain amount of money into the HSF and you pride yourself on it, you let these issues go because you know you don't have the knowledge and you don't have the financial people to support you. You don't have the Vasant Bharats, you don't have the Winston Dukarans, you don't have the Botiwaris, you don't have the Kevin Ramnarines who understand the economics. The person you have is Dave Tanku, who is an imbecile by himself, right?
Oh, no. Oh, no. Dr. Mohammed,
Wait,
I have
wait,
a
wait.
question.
Dana,
This
wait,
is
wait.
the,
Dana, 1 minute. Let him finish. Let him finish. Let
oh,
him
I
finish.
thought he was
No,
finished.
No, no.
no,
Yeah.
and I'm finished. That's all she have. And as a result of having a limited number of persons with certain specializations at her fingertips, she is crippled in what she can or cannot say because all Kamala knows is law, you know.
Hmm. But Dr. Mohammed, my question, for Hans, let me interrupt me. Um, the taxpayers' dollars, that is what the government is spending, right?
Yes,
They collect from VAT and
yes.
taxes people pay. So don't the taxpayers have any sort of recourse to come out and say, well, is there any formal letter they can file or, say, listen, we want to know, Minister Imsbert, what's going on? Don't they have
The
any
only thing,
legal
the only thing,
recourse?
there's only one thing that they can file at that level is
Mm.
freedom of information. Under the Freedom of Information Act, they file an application for information to be displayed, for information to be shared under the Freedom of Information Act. So it's
Anyone,
called file an FOI.
any one citizen can go do that?
Yes.
Okay.
Any citizen could do that. I mean, it's a legal procedure, so sometimes you might need a lawyer to do it, to file an
Mhm.
FOI. But what our country should have is, under our constitution, we should have a space for referendum. We should have a space where people could seek information from the government on how their money is spent, that people can have an opportunity to question the government on allocation of funds and how, where's our money, where are our taxes, how is it getting distributed in terms of improving the hospital and buying medicine. Those are the things that should be available, and that's something that should be. It should not just simply be um, where you ask only through a member of parliament during question time in the parliament. I think one of the things that in my head that I'm playing with is a mechanism where the issues that are affecting the people can be brought to the attention of the speaker, who will then put the questions to the government and have them answer.
So people from these splintered parties can ask for this information
Yes,
because
they
they're
can.
citizens? Okay, good.
Yes.
That's all I want to know. Okay, good. Thanks.
So, Dr. Mohammed, to me, I find that the opposition has fall down on property tax. They didn't even
They
fall
fall
down.
on, no, they didn't. No, they fall on everything.
No, say that again.
They fall on everything.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying this property tax is a big issue. And I saw this the other day and I could not believe this. This is a quote by Colin Mimbert, right? He said approximately 65% of the properties will be subjected to a property tax ranging from $540 to $1,080 a year, right? So what this suggests is that properties will have an estimated annual rental value between 18,000 to 36,000, which is equivalent to monthly rents ranging from 1,500 to 3,000, right? What that says to me, right? What that says to me is that it appears that most of these properties are going to be low value properties, right? If a property is paying $540 a year, right? That property is only going to worth, maybe if you multiply, you take the 18,000. I think, I didn't do that maths, right? So
how much did he say? How much did he say it's going to be? 3%?
5.4 is 3%. 540 to 1,080 per year, right? But the annual
Okay,
rent.
but hold on. Let me ask you this: 3% is going to be 3% of the value of the property, right?
No, it's going to be 3% of the estimated annual rental value.
But then that is bullshit because then okay. So the question is 3% of the annual rental value.
Right.
There are people in this country who have not even thought about that possibility. What it should be is that it should be 3% of the overall estimated value of the property that is paid
Assessed
per
value.
month.
That's the assessed value is what we
Yes.
do. But
right.
in Trinidad, you get a 10% discount though. Right? So I mean the stuff is just, and to me, Dr. Mohammed, is this, right? If a person in Westmoreland gonna pay 3% of annual rental value, they're gonna be able to get more for rental, right? Say they could get 10,000 a year, they pay 3%. But why should a person in Penal Bay, in Lavantil, in Mova, or in Sanwa pay the same 3%? To me, there should be a sliding scale. The average property tax in this country is 1%. The average property tax across the world.
If you take, let me give you an example here, right?
Yeah.
If you take a property that is valued at $1.5 million, right?
Right.
Multiply that by 3%, it's $45,000, right? And it's 3% per year, right? 45,000.
That's if you're going on assessed value.
And that is if I'm going on assessed value. So 45%, 3% of $1.5 million is $45,000 for the year. Divided that 45,000 divided by 12 is equal to $3,750. Right? When you want to go on the rental value, right? Let's just say rent for a property is $3,000 a month.
Right.
Multiplied by 12, that's $36,000. Divide that by, well,
you had to take away 10% based on how they have it. So let me say this: if the annual rental value is $36,000, right? The annual tax
minus
value
10%.
Right, the annual value is 36,000 minus 10%, which will get
$32,400.
Right. So the annual property tax will be now $32,400 times 3%, which will give you $972 per year, which will be $81 per month. Right? Because the annual rental value is $36,000. Right? So based on the assessed value, they come up with that annual rental value. So for example, if their assessed values are $1 million, they will say, well, based on whatever formula they have, you might be able to get $7,000 a month here rent. So I'll multiply 7,000 times 12, right? That will be $84,000, right? And then I'll give you a 10% discount, whatever that is, right? And I will get the value now, which I'm going to tax you 3%.
But why is he? Did he give a rationale for what? What is the 10% discount about?
Well, I mean, it's a discount.
Yeah, but
You're getting
okay.
a discount.
So, if you give people a discount, right? That is also bullshitting people, you know, because you
Well,
can't be giving people a discount of 10%.
but
Because
no,
in my
I
opinion,
don't think so.
in
I
my
don't think so.
in my opinion, you are so okay.
You're
The
paying less
question,
taxes. You're paying less tax.
no. I'm not saying no. I'm not no. I'm looking at it from the political side now. What
Okay.
if the 10% never existed?
Well, you just pay a higher tax, higher property tax.
Right? No. What if 10% never existed? How did he come up with giving people a 10%?
Okay.
You
I don't.
understand?
Yeah.
What's the rationale? Where did you come up with we will give everybody a 10% break? Because let me tell you, what could happen? He could now come and say, well, we gave you all an amnesty of 10% discount. Now we need to take it back, which is cat in bag.
So he could use that now anyway. That we give you a 10%.
I want to know. We need to. I now need to bring it in. So we're gonna cut that 10% into 5%, and then I'm gonna cut that 5% to 3% until I take back the whole 10%. When the 10% never existed in the first place.
And that's what I'm saying. The opposition party have I mean they have the female pit bull what's your name again, Diana?
Hi, Anita Haynes?
No, Anita is no pit bull. Anita is a
Miss Walker.
Oh, Marsha Pitbull. I mean Marsha Walker. Marsha Walker. Let's go.
So listen, you see, that's flipping neck.
Let's go. No, I'm just telling. No, listen.
She's not a pit bull.
Listen.
She's not even a Pompey.
I know. I give the UNC on a platter property tax. Now listen to this. Barbados property tax, even Diana didn't know that. It's 0.25%. Grenada and them is 0.50%. Right? Not even 1%. Barbados, Trinidad tax is 12 times that of Barbados, 6 times that of Grenada, St. Vincent, St. Lucia. I mean, and
their properties more valuable than ours. Huh?
There you go. And to me, and yet he excuse some of those PNM people in HDD who are hypocritical, deceitful, and disingenuous. Well, if you live in Westmoreland, you paying 3%, and if I live in Chumaka, Claventel, I paying 2%. When you get some sense, if I'm living in Westmoreland, it's easy for me to pay 3%. If I'm living in Chumaka, 3% could be a month in groceries for me. I mean, and you know, calm down.
But the rent, okay, but let me ask you this.
Yeah.
The question comes back down to if you're going down the rental value, right?
Yeah.
Which I feel, given the numbers that you just worked out there, who determines the rental value though?
Well, you have an assessor. They're going to assess your property.
Right. And
like
that assessment has happened already in some instances, right?
Okay. So then.
But the question is this. You cannot want to tax people property tax at 3% and then at the same time talk about you're giving people, you see that 10%, let me tell you something, that if people not paying attention to that 10%, that 10% discount does not exist. That 10% discount is cat and bag. That 10% is political bubble. That is what you call that is an ammunition for Imbert to come the same way he's taking off the subsidy of the gas prices is the same way he could come and say we give all a tax incentive of 10%, a tax break. We give all a discount of 10%. I had to come and take it back now, and he will take it back like a thief in the night and say, well, we have been giving you too much. and that's a problem with the administration, with the opposition, and anybody who wants to form or compete against the PNM. You have to take them on head on and ask, well, where you get 10% from? Why are you taking off the 10%? You know what? I don't want you to take off the 10%. Give me the whole percent. Give me the full. Don't give me no discount. Don't give. The country has to realize that anything that involves a discount is going to come back to you as an added whatever the opposite discount is, that is what it's going to be.
But you see, Dr. Mohammed, I don't and you know, let me just say I don't understand.
There should be no 10% discount. If the value of the property, the rental value of the property is $36,000, let it be $36,000 a year. Tax me on that.
Well.
But make a fair rate.
Make a fair rate.
Correct.
That is the point, Tommy. That is the point. That is
make a fair rate. Do not tell me. I don't want to know. Listen, I don't want no goodwill from Inwood, because goodwill from Inwood has come back to bite you in their behind, right? I don't want no goodwill from Inwood. And the country needs to realize that they don't need no goodwill. Don't give we no 10% discount. Whatever it is, give us a reasonable cost, a reasonable percentage. How did he even come up with 3%? What was your rationale for 3%? When you do your calculations and you compare Guyana and Barbados and Grenada, let's just go with those three on property tax.
Yep.
How much it is that you are going to give us, taking into consideration that property values in Grenada and Barbados, when converted to US dollars and when priced in US dollars and converted into TT dollars, are more expensive for us as Trinidadians. What are you going to, how are you going to come up with your taxation? What is your formula? And you telling me about rental value?
But
how do you rent? How do you come up with the rental value of a 2-bedroom board house in Davie Penal?
What were we? You're only paying $540 a month. Where were we about?
Yeah, but okay. But let me ask you that. $540 a month.
Yeah. A year.
Yeah. Then if I have to pay $540 a month a year, then so be it. But what about the person who has a 3-bedroom house in Princestown that they have no intentions of renting, and the value of that property is $950,000?
So I have to come up with an annual rental value. I will come up and tell you, you have this house here, you can get $2,500 a month rent.
And I will watch you in your face and say, but I never asked for that.
No, but that is what the property law is. That's the law.
And it is a stupid law.
The law is that even, and listeners, let me take it even further. If you have a piece of land, right, I have to come up with an annual rental value for that piece of land. So if you have a piece of land sitting down there,
can you imagine what if I have on that piece of land, let's just say it's a 1 lot of land. Yeah. On that 1 lot of land, what if I have 200 planting suckers growing on it?
Well, no, if it's not agricultural land is a different percentage.
So my advice to everybody in Trinidad and Tobago who have a piece of land, plant some mango and plant some orange, plant some plantain, plant some fig, plant some cocoa.
If it's not considered agricultural land, it's not going to get the lower percentage.
But let me ask you this.
Yeah.
If I plant my land with fruit trees, who is you to tell me that I plant and I turn my land into an orchard?
No, but if it's not zoned for agriculture, you pay regular property tax.
And I want to know, how you come up. You see, my issue is this: you have strangers coming and telling you the value of your property. Yeah. And you have strangers telling you the value of your potential rental value. You think somebody who's 86 years old living in Trinidad understand that language?
No, they don't. But and that is what I'm saying. I have said the tax is regressive and it's oppressive, and most of the people, and I'm using this words, most of the poor people in Trinidad going to suffer the burden of this tax, of this 3% tax. And people have to get serious. This is not about party, you know. This is about country. This is about people in the country. You know, you have a little piece of land sit down there for your great-grandparent, your thing. All of a sudden, they come on and telling you, well, it's only 540. And in 2009, the prime minister was against taxes. He was against property tax. He says, even if it's $100, even if it's $100, I go read the quote for you. So if it's all of a sudden, in 2023, the same man want to come and impose and telling people, what is $45 a month? Hey, $45 could go and buy me something by Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Look, my mother right here could actually how much property tax used to, how much land and building tax my grandmother used to pay. Mommy, $25.
See?
A year? $25 a year.
Yeah.
Land and building tax in Princestown. This was before they had aborted property tax in 2009, right? Yes. My grandmother have all those. My grandmother has all those receipts still.
You see? So, boy, I am listening. I am listening to the UNC, and I'm like, you guys have something here on a platter. Just do a little homework. Just a little, you know, not much, you know. A little.
Let me ask you this, right, Ansel?
Yeah.
How do you explain to somebody who were accustomed paying $25 a year for land and building tax for a commercial piece of property in Princestown in 2009, and now you're coming in 2023 to tell that very same person that they have to pay $540
a year? Yeah. And to me, listen, and some of these people like, well, what do they pay for property tax in New York or in New Jersey? We pay all different. I could be living here and my next door neighbor, I paying 1%, my next door neighbor paying 0.5%.
Because of the size of the property, right?
And that is what it's based on. The tax assessor assess you, and people in different neighborhoods, the property tax is higher, right?
You zone it. It's zoned, right?
Right. So in urban districts, property tax are lower. In suburban districts, property tax higher. But that's understood because the roads are better. You know, everything else is better. And listen to this other thing, Dr. Mohammed.
Hold on, I get into tell you how much it was. I tell you the amount of tax my grandmother was paying in suburban Princestown. I want to tell you the tax in urban Princestown.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
How much? Mommy, how much it was? $125 a year.
In suburban.
In urban.
In urban.
And I am talking about the heart of Princestown. You walk out my street and you're on High Street.
Wow. Now, the other thing is this, the government is saying, well, we don't come and take your property, or we don't come and take your house, or anything like that. In this country, we have something called tax liens, right? And what they do with tax liens, they sell it to developers. So you owe $5,000 in back tax. The government, they want to come and deal with you. They sell it to a developer. They collect the money, and the person with the tax lien coming after your property, right? And people in understanding that is, oh, it's a little $25 a month, or it's a little $45. You ain't pay for 5 years. Then they put a tax lien on your property. The government or the corporation get out of their business, and they have a developer come, and all of a sudden, you might have to start paying them rent, or they bring in a sheriff, or whoever all they have in Trinidad to take your property, your house, and everything. And it's like...
The thing about it is this. You cannot trust a government that has come into office, and while even in its previous administration between 15 and 20 did everything but bring in foreign direct investment into Trinidad and Tobago, but force the people of Trinidad and Tobago to tax themselves into prosperity. And if that is the attitude that Imbert has, right? And you're going to be talking about 3% of your potential, potential. So you are, again, it is ambiguous, it is vague, it does not make sense because it is potential. It means it may never happen. It is make believe. It is like the Little Mermaid that just come out in the movies. You cannot tax me on something that does not exist. That is like you taxing me on a plot on a plot of land on a funeral on a burial plot in the cemetery that have been there for 50 years and nobody in my family has dead and been buried there. But it is potentially a burial plot. You are literally taxing people on potential, meaning it may be, but it is not something that is. You have to, if you tax people on something that is, that they could understand, that they could see, that is tangible, that they could say.
Dr. Mohammed, people had an opportunity to file their forms. If they didn't get a certain percentage of forms, right, they couldn't go ahead with property tax. The people file it, so then they deserve to get what they deserve that.
You see, let me tell you what they did. They filed it because, again, as you rightfully said, because it is the law. It is the law that the people again, and Kamala and them and they're foolish, that bunch of dotish.
Be nice.
Yes. Watch me. That bunch of dotish, when I tell you, they are so dunce, it's not funny.
Nah, that plenty attorneys over there, man.
And that's all. Why does she just don't go and retire and form a legal firm then? She has sent the United National Congress to the United National Congress law firm, and it's almost as though it's Kamala Prasad Visasan Company Limited.
I don't understand how them allow this property tax, because this gonna have this. Listen, I am predicting this today. Once that tax go into in order and they start to collect it, plenty people who can't meet their who barely making their aunt, uncle, and nennen go start to have difficulties with that little $45 a month, and they go say, you know what? I ain't gonna pay that month. It's only 45. Next month come another 45. Next month come another 45. A year pass.
And add that to the fact
interest.
That they have not only interest. That I sat down in Crown Point 2 weeks ago, and I was looking at the screen while I was waiting on my flight. And lo and behold, I see an advertisement from Tech talking about how Tech is highly dependent on natural gas consumption to be able to power Trinidad and Tobago's electricity grid. And I am looking on at this advertisement or this explanation. It's very animated, right? And I think the people who are around me keep seeing this eyebrow go up till it couldn't go no more, because I was looking at it and thinking, you have already started to put out there in the public's domain that Tech is still assessing and reassessing a potential increase in electricity.
That's coming. That increase is coming.
However, my mother was telling me that she found it very strange that the light bill went up to a significant figure than what she was accustomed paying. And she brought it to my attention. And I said to myself, I will not doubt that they secretly raised the electricity bills and did not tell anybody.
I wouldn't put
that is the devils that we are dealing with.
I wouldn't put that past them. I
will never put that past them at all. No, and that again, it comes down to trust. It comes down to trust. And if we don't trust you, then 2025 will never happen.
But you gotta add to that transparency and accountability.
Did they raise water rates too?
They don't have no. What they keep thinking is that they will not raise the water rates, but they are looking at the restructuring of WASA.
Hmm.
You know the problem with that?
Hmm.
All of their friends, family, relatives, cousins and uncles and aunts and nephews and supporters and nenens and grassroots people are all packed into WASA.
Hmm.
So then how
And
you
you don't get water
how
you get
you
water
restructure
two
that,
times a month
right?
in
And
some
then
areas.
rain falling, place flooding. You can't tell me the dam's not collecting water.
Yeah. Mm.
You can
Yeah.
right now in Tobago, they knew of a well, a very lucrative natural well, um, that had been existing in the Lambo Signal Hill area, and WASA has now decided to tap into that well to provide particular areas of Tobago with water, because that natural well continues to continues to have natural overflows
Hmm.
of water. So that if you go to Tobago now, they're putting down these huge pipelines in which people will get water. But
Oh.
in Trinidad and Tobago, you have we have aquifers, of which the Brian Lara Stadium sits on one. I don't know if you all know that. And Mr. Manning was advised that you should not build in that Taruba area any large structures, because the aquifers, the natural aquifers that exist underneath there, are going to be interrupted. So there was a period of time where um, there were pumps that were permanently placed in the locker rooms and in the basement of the um, Brian Lara Stadium to pump water out of there. And that there's one day will come where that will continue sinking because it's on a soft land.
But a good
That's
engineer, a good
talk
engineer
me.
knows a good engineer knows how to build on that land, because what you build is raft foundations on land like that.
To float, right?
Yep.
Right. That never happened.
Listen, listener, there is easy fix. Well, not easy fix. There are fixes to flooding in Port of Spain. I brought one of your friends that you mentioned tonight, my good friend as well, my good PNM friend, and I brought her to Brooklyn, where Canarsie used to, when they had the big storm there, the Canarsie flood out. Flood out. I brought them to a place in Canarsie where they take water out of the river, put it into this, I, I can't even call it a tank, right? But they store it there, right? Because so the river wouldn't get as high, right, as before. They put it in there, and when the river goes back down, they put the water back out. And some of the water they recycle as well, right? And I tell them, well, listen, this might be a good solution for Trinidad and Tobago, but I don't know what happened to this. But Dr. Mohammed, I want to quickly shift the focus to
I, will-
Tobago.
I want to tell you before you switch to Tobago, something I saw today that it again I keep mental notes because it also drives me to what Rose wants me to do eventually, right? We're flying over from Tobago to Trinidad, and I always ask for a window seat because I get a chance to see what is happening on the island in the remote parts of Trinidad that people are not seeing for themselves. And we're flying over, and I'm trying to picture myself as to exactly, we're not flying over Maracas, we are flying over the middle. So I'm seeing Paria Bay and some of these bays that you cannot access without hiking, and there's no roads. So I'm looking for the North Coast Road and realizing, okay, we're a little bit off. And as we fly closer into the island, just before it's almost in the middle of the Northern Range, which should be forest reserve. What do I see to my disgust? A quarry that has cut into half, and I mean half,
Illegal,
literally half
a
of a
illegal quarry.
mountain peak.
A illegal
And
quarry.
what is worse? What was worse than that is that whoever that individual is has put up a mansion with a swimming pool on the compound.
Wow. Unbelievable. And you tell me
And
nobody don't know that?
half of the mountain, I mean hard rock, the rock, you could tell is not clay. It is gray in color. So you have cut into hard rock, right? For whatever purpose you need this, you decide that you're going to do this quarrying. But when I look down onto the property, because it's a spread, you have your quarry, you have your cut into the mountain, you have your little quarry office, you have your equipment, and then bam, I see a mansion with a swimming pool, and I say to myself, but what level of illegality is this going on in this country?
And them don't know that day? Them know that day?
But of course, but it had to be one of their friends.
They know that day?
And then we ask ourselves, when it rains, why we flooding?
Yep. So
we
funny.
Flooding. Why have we not looked into why it is half of the East Dry River always have a fridge or stove and everybody dirty laundry flowing down the river when the rain falls?
Yeah. Well.
And why have we not put a stop into that?
Yep. Bonnie says, you must all understand that the opposition is at a disadvantage with the House Speaker, always not giving them the opportunity to speak.
That is besides the point.
More so when the government is under pressure. Bonnie, stop making excuses. That's an excuse, Bonnie. Stop making excuses, and that is part of the problem. You see part of the problem there? Bonnie, you making excuses. Bonnie, what? Wait now. Do we have Facebook? Do we have Instagram? Do we have TikTok? Right? Do we have YouTube? I mean, really and truly? Really, funny boy?
You know what I saw yesterday? Let me tell you what I saw yesterday. I said to myself, this is a joke. And this had to be a joke. And this is the difference, right? It comes back down. Yes, the PNM is dishonest. Yes, the PNM is disingenuous. Yes, the PNM cannot be trusted. Yes, they lack communication skills. Yes, they lack empathy. Yes, they lack care. Yes, they lack compassion. Yes, there's a disconnect with poor people. Yes, they do not understand the struggles that people go through. All of those things. But you want to know something? What they do have is structure. What they do have is decorum. There's a way they conduct their affairs at the political level. At a governance level, they are horrible. But at a political level, there's a structure. That is why people will be minded to associate with them. But you know what I saw yesterday? And the UNC, proud no tail. You are having a screening. You are screening actually, right? Candidates for a national election, which involves 141 electoral districts. You are boasting about the amount of people that have submitted nominations, which I think is a lie. But what are you doing as part of your screening process? This donkey they call Khadija Amin, right?
Yeah. Don't call you that.
They bring a stove.
Be nice.
They bring a stove. They put on a gas tank. They put on Indian music. They're frying aloo and making roti, right? What message you sending to the national community? And you want all inclusion.
I don't know. I was never at UNC, so I don't know.
What message are you sending though?
You could come and eat and be happy, eat and be merry. Come and drink and be merry, eat and be merry. I don't know.
When will they get serious? When will they get serious about these? And listen, everything is a secret. And who they want, and who they don't want, and who is friends with who, right? That is what they have turned into, a party of parties. They enjoy only. They can't be serious. You cannot be. I said to myself, all you really needed to have the Indian music and
Mohammed, and we want to switch after this, but Mohammed, they're playing to their base. What's wrong with that?
How you're going to win a local government election beyond certain seats if you're only playing to your base?
Well, I mean, if you're playing to your base, you want to keep those people who are currently.
But your base will never change. It's the young people from that base is going to force the change. And let me ask you this. The only young people that have screened for the UNC is because they are aligned to somebody else. But no stranger could go there. Nobody who is unaligned and could say, you know what, I have always been a UNC, my family has always been UNC. I want to come and submit myself to a screening committee because I want to go up for an electoral district where I believe I can help my community. They go watch and say, but who is you? Where you come from? What do you offer? How much money you can bring to the campaign? That's the kind of conversations that is happening on the UNC side. Whereas in the PNM side, the PNM is asking, what do you, Shane Mohammed, as a candidate, what do you bring to your community, and what do you bring to this party as an individual? We're not asking you for a cent. And I'm telling you that because I know that for a fact. Because I know somebody who screened, got through, and was never asked for a single cent.
Different strokes for different folks. So Dr. Mohammed, I want to switch your focus here a little bit for the next 5 minutes or so. I heard the minority leader of the Tobago House of Assembly, Kelvin Morris, talking about, I'm paraphrasing here, talking about it's okay if Farley was bugged and the education assembly person, Sarisha Hackett, was bugged. He wants to give that person, whoever bugged him, an award. Doesn't he know bugging is illegal in Trinidad and Tobago? How could you stand up on a platform?
It is part. He doesn't understand the Interception of Communication Bill Act.
Yeah, I mean, but how could you stand on a platform and endorse illegality? Oh, listen. Let's say the voice is Farley and Sarisha Hackett. Fine.
It is.
Right? Yes. Right? Let's say that. Right?
Did you hear? Who judge?
Yes. I heard him. I heard him. Yeah, but Dr. Mohammed, and people have missed this point. The minority leader standing up there and saying that. So if he was bugged, so what? He should get a fella a medal.
But
he's a whistleblower.
But he was never bugged, though. He was never bugged.
Yeah, but he brought it up, and he's talking.
But you know who I have to blame as well?
Who?
The administration should have been quick on the draw and get one of their legal people to stand up on a podium and say that doesn't Kelvin Morris know that bugging somebody is illegal and that is a violation of the Interception of Communication Bill? I'm sorry.
Nobody. I mean, I even have the video here. You know, I have the thing here, and I listened to it. And
I saw it. I was forced to listen to it today.
Yeah, a good friend of mine brought it to my attention. He said, "Answer my way to listen." Boy, I get so much thing. He said, "Boy, I wait to listen to it. Go on to 24 minutes in the thing," and I cut it out. I said, "Well, we."
Lack of understanding of the Interception of Communication Act.
And that man want to give that person a medal or whatever it is. I said, that is unbelievable, and none of them.
If the chief secretary stays true to his words and speaks tomorrow, you all will be mind blown.
Well, I hope he does, because right now it seems as though there's a lot of political immaturity taking place.
I will tell you that it is political deception. It is political deception that, unfortunately, they did not anticipate.
On whose behalf?
In terms of on whose behalf? Internal political deception.
In the THA?
In the party.
In the TPP.
In the TPP. Oh, okay. I get
that. I think what they needed to, and I mean, you know, nothing is wrong with making a statement and saying to the people, I have a short statement to make, and I will make a more detailed statement within the coming weeks, but we need to look into this at it's only when it was Tuesday. It's only on Tuesday he told the people of Tobago that, you know, it was a matter that was bigger than they think, and it touched and concerned a lot of issues, and that therefore it needed him to mull over a lot, because he had to look at the repercussions of it, right? That's the long and short of it. But he started off wrong. I always put myself in the role of these fellas as to how would I respond. And I will never respond to something and say that the media would like to have media would like to think that they can dictate, set my agenda. But the only person who sets my agenda is me. You start wrong right there. That was not called for. You should have simply said, talking to the people in front of you, I understand that this is of grave concern to all of my supporters and by extension, the people of Tobago and every single stakeholder that has helped to the administration getting to where it is today. However, there needs to be further investigations and confirmations as to where and how this audio was created, and give me some time to investigate to ensure that I collate the right amount of information and I find the actual culprit and something can be done. That's all. That's one, I would have said. Two, I would have said, that's audio recording that you have heard is a combination of two separate conversations that has been doctored to sound as one. However, we at the administration level are embarking on an investigation to find the source of this audio creation, and when we do, we are going to share with the public how it came about and who's responsible. I'll say this to you all, because as well, it is no and it always no. It is internal sabotage. The audio is very old.
Yeah, I heard Charles said it was a year old. It was almost a year old.
The audio is old. The audio is not new. The audio is internal sabotage, and it may very well have been as a result of somebody not getting what they wanted.
Wow. I mean, that's just so unbelievable, man.
And that is something, and that is why I'm saying that, I think that Ho Choi should not have made the statements that he made today, and he should have shut his mouth and allowed the chief secretary to get the opportunity to talk tomorrow. Because the one thing he said is that he thinks, first he said he knows, and then he said he believes, and then he said, I think. So he's at the backtrack when he said the chief secretary is going to say that that is his voice. Why are you putting him in that? The man already in hot water. Why are you throwing hot oil on him now? And therefore, if and I have always been opposed to Farley as a modern, because I've seen him as a modern progressive leader in our political space, I don't understand why is he relying on a regressive man and a man that is stuck in his own ways and who does not and has not been able to move Tobago forward when he had the opportunity, as in the person of Ho Choi Charles. There are other people he could have relied on for political advice.
Have you communicated this with Farley?
Farley is not answering his phone. Farley is not, he's not taking calls. Farley, I have always been available to any political party that requires advice as to what is the best strategy forward. It's up to them to take it, my friend.
Yeah,
the same way Dr. Fuad Khan could pick up the phone and cross-reference something with me, the same way Gary could have an initial conversation to me. I am open to any political party that needs some level of political advice as to what is the best strategy forward. I have never said to myself that I am only going to align myself to anybody opposite. I am open. I happen to be in a space with Petal Benoit, who is the minority councillor. And I made a joke with Petal, and I said, Petal, this was the day after my aunt's funeral. I happened to be in Tobago. I'm working on a project there, and a non-political project actually. I said to Petal, I said, well, if you all need help, give me a call. You know, I will come over. You know, but when it comes to the development of our people, the progress of our people, and the overall development and sustainability and prosperity of my country, you're going to have to put aside your differences to try and work together. But the people and the powers that be and the persons who currently hold office don't understand that. So sooner rather than later, we are going to have to really think about a strategy moving forward. I will also tell you all this. You all don't know this. I heard this. If Keith Rowley wins that local government election, he may just be mindful to call a snap election as well and try to win another 5 years.
Okay. All right.
And I am saying this, if that does happen in terms of swinging from 7-7 to 8-6 in his favor, I will say to all of you all, buy your tickets and get ready to come to Trinidad to vote him out.
So, Dr. Mohammed, I think this was another that was a kind of a bombshell there. You know, I mean, you know, we do get bombshells on this show, but you know, it's always a pleasure when you take the time to join us. Any closing words before you go?
Listen, I will say to all of you, as I always say, that one of the reasons why I enjoy coming on the show is because I see a great interest. And actually, you know, somebody asked me to ask the question, and I know I have, but I will ask it again. I do hope that every person who signs on to this show, when the time comes, you find yourself because we have not changed the constitution and we have not allowed people to vote in wherever they are in their foreign location. Trinidad and Tobago requires you to spend that money and come to Trinidad to dip your finger in that ink to secure our future.
There you go. Thank you so much, Dr. Mohammed. It was always a pleasure.
But
Pleasure
before
is
you
all
go,
mine, my friend.
one quick question, Dr. Mohammed.
Yes.
Before
sure.
you go, we want to make sure that when we do dip our fingers in that ink, that we are dipping it for something worth the while.
You will be voting. You will be voting for something worth the while. I just need to figure out what is the name of the thing.
Okay. All righty. We'll hold you to that.
We hold you to that.
The challenge has been long accepted. You all know that.
Absolutely.
All righty.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right.
Take
care.
All right.
Thank
bye-bye.
you again.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye. So there you have it, Tommy.
Yeah.
Well, folks. Yeah, boy. You know that's true, you know, Ellis. Whenever Dr. Shane Marvel come in the program, Captain like he have what's called PNIG, you know, PNIG, permanent Novocaine in gums, boy. Yeah, Capiza, boy. Capiza.
You are listening to WZYE LP 95.9 FM, Maplewood, New Jersey, broadcasting from Essex County. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in New Jersey for talk, news, sports, and information from the Caribbean.
Yeah, I think we had quite a fantabulous show tonight. So folks, Lana, Ellis, Rose, Judy, Ken John, and Mean Gene if you're still there, Rose, Capiza, Rennie Mohammed, Ellis, I think I called Ellis, Nadia, put closing comments in the chat. Yeah. So Tommy.
Yes, sir.
I think the breaking news tonight is that if the PNO win the local election, they'll call a snap election.
Yep.
I don't think so, man.
That makes good sense.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it makes sense. What he says makes sense.
Okay. Okay. Wow. That's interesting though. Wow. I mean, it is. Hey, Tommy boy, Tommy boy, the reason why I go into detail with respect to the property tax like that, man, is because I feel that, you know, people are so people are so burdened in Trinidad with all different type of thing, boy. You know, why come with a 3% property tax, boy? Why? And then telling them it's only $45 a month. If I do have $45, where go get it from?
You see, I see a lot of unfair tactics or schemes at work here. For example, I'm just talking about my situation. We have 5 acres in the forest, right? In the forest, the access to it has been destroyed and hasn't been repaired, or should I say replaced. How are you going to treat with that?
Easy. They're gonna go in there, they're gonna look at it, they're gonna access it, they're gonna look at other properties in the community, other houses and anything, and they're gonna say if you could put a house on this, and this
Well,
house can.
there are no houses in the forest there. It was
I
all
know, but what they're gonna do, because they have to come up with an assessed value. And then based on the assessed value, they're gonna come up with an annual rental income. Annual rental income. And if they say your annual rental income is $500, right? A month, that means to say you're gonna pay 3% of $6,000.
Mm.
Well, you're getting a discount. You're getting a 10% discount.
First of all, you can't do nothing with the bloody property because you can't.
They
You
don't,
cannot
they don't
access
care
the
about that.
property.
They don't care about that. That has nothing to do with anything. That's why I'm telling you, this tax here, poor people will suffer under this tax. And them same poor PNM people who boasting that $45 is nothing and $50 is nothing, wait and they go see. Wait and they go see. Right? When they start to give you when your light bill go up, right? And you have to find more money to pay your light bill, right? Food prices go up, taxi prices go up, maxi prices go up. That little $45 now, right? Think about it. Think about it. Look, you know what, Tommy? I had to stop. No, but I can't stop. I had to stop fighting for people in Trinidad and Tobago.
Why?
No, I can't stop. I can't stop. I can't stop. No, you raise a good point. That's a good question. I can't stop. And Tommy, you know me, I right now I on property tax. My thing now is property tax. Almost once a week, I am putting out something on property tax. Tommy, imagine 65% of the properties in Trinidad and Tobago. You hear that value? 65%, Yeah? So listen to this. If 65% of the properties only getting a tax of $540 to $1,080 a year, right? That means to say, them property don't have a lot of value. You understand? So that is mainly poor people in Trinidad and Tobago.
Correct.
That's mainly poor people.
So the other 35% are going to be carrying the bulk of the pressure.
Correct. Right? That's 65%. No, Tony. Oh, no, but they're just getting 3% too. They getting the same amount as the 65%. The 35% getting the same amount. They're not paying a higher percentage.
Well, they pay a higher number because of the values.
Yeah, they pay a higher number because of the value, but maybe that higher number, right? I don't know if it will be able to surpass the 65%. Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe that 35% net, or should I say the gross amount.
Surpass the 35%. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's possible. That's possible. Yeah, but a big thing like 65% of the the Minister of Finance said this, I didn't make that up, right? Yeah. He said that properties with rental values in the band of 36,000 to 60,000 annually. I mean, it's just crazy, man. 65% of properties will attract a property tax of between $540 a year and $1,080 a year. 65%.
You know what's painful and I think unfair? The commercial properties in the area, they're gonna harvest that funds and keep and spend it with the central government as opposed to putting it in the hands of
Correct.
because
Correct.
the commercial properties put the most stress on the infrastructure.
Yep. And they pay to the central government rather than to the corporation.
Right.
Right. And people ain't even questioning that. Look, me even question that, Tommy. I just sticking strictly to 3%.
And the commercial properties are actually bringing in greater income values than they're actually making money because the homes people
And
have.
I think the percentage is higher too, you know, Tommy. Let me see if I have the percentage here. Let me see something. Let me see if I have the percentage here for the commercial properties.
But the bloody fund revenues are going straight to central government as opposed to the local government who needs it more. And they are the ones who are burdened with providing infrastructure and so on to make the commercial properties.
Oh, commercial and industrial is 5%.
But even if they say, look, we're going to split the commercial and industrial fees 50-50 with
the corporation.
Yeah, with the corporations, it makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, boy, Tommy, agriculture is 2%.
Yeah? Something doesn't add up, and the people are just so passive.
Passive, boy, passive. They're sitting down, man. Sitting down and just taking it just so. They're taking it. Anyway, let me give my closing comments, you know, and people worrying about, you know, who if people worrying about race and all them kind of thing.
You know, all things considered, we still be thankful that we have free speech.
Yeah, at least we still have free speech.
Because the environments where you can't say nothing can be prosecuted for speaking up.
Yep. So what's my closing comment for the day? I wish everyone I've met on my journey nothing but peace and love. Whether we separated on good, bad, or indifferent terms, I wish you well. I wish you success. May you find what you are looking for. From where I said, this is it. The clock on the wall said, that's all I like to say, but I've got to go. Remember, hard work beats talent. When talent does not work hard, and for every 60 seconds of anger, you lose 1 minute of happiness. See you. Same WZYE time, same WZYE channel. Yeah. Go ahead, Tommy.
Yes, indeed. As I was saying before, we still have the power of free speech, and we should be grateful. And this one is about gratitude. Let gratitude be the pillow upon which you kneel to say your nightly prayer. Let gratitude be the pillow upon which you kneel to say your nightly prayer. And these are the words of Maya Angelou. I want to thank each and every one. Again, do not look down on a person unless you're picking them up. Be safe out there. Love you all. See you next session.
Thank you, Tony. Nana says, they are spot up in the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
And also says, thanks for the information, Tommy, about commercial property. And let's give you some advice. Tommy, plant up the land, your producer will pay that tax.
Mm-hmm. If I can access it to bring out the produce, I certainly will.
Yeah, Kapisa said, I'm sown institutional on 5 acres and on other agriculture. Don't worry, Kapisa, if he has agriculture, you only have to pay about 2%, so you're good. Yeah. Rose, closing comments. Today I was thinking about the personal persons in government who calls people mischief makers just for standing up on behalf of the needy citizens. God, essentially, you all. Hailey says, I, the homeless, I go suffer. Actually, them don't have to pay any property tax at all. Okay. Some people might end up homeless, I'm telling you. Blessed night, Dr. Shane, Judy. Alice. Closing comment, Cap does crawl like a rooster. When Shane come, he does crackle like a hen. Oh, God, Alice is kicks. Yeah. Lana said, answer if you inherit property, you have to pay inheritance tax to get a deed on your name. I hear about that too, you know. I'll get more information about that, if that is true. About this inheritance tax. Lana says, closing comments, I want to exchange Ketos for Barbados PM. Judy says, great, interesting show indeed. Thank you, Dr. Shane Mohammed. Lana says, great show tonight, Ansam. You know, we like to give information, you know? Information. Alice says, Shane, when your comedy program, Capiza to say little. Judy says, Dr. Shane, I hope Farley's listening to you. Lana want to exchange.
Yeah. I'm a little disappointed in Farley. But then again, he's human and he's green, you know?
Yeah. All right, folks. It's a pleasure. We're going to go to our anthem song, of course, by Explainer. May he rest in peace. Good night, everyone. Take care.
Is Pharaoh still existing? As he before, resembling an